What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Bugle 6, episode 9. I can't believe we're already on issue number 9. It is going by super fast. It's our first back-to-back episodes of the Bugle 6. Last week we went because of the 5 Mondays in the month of April, and here we are in the first Monday of May. Year is going by super fast, but unfortunately we do not have Flavio. He just got married. I do have a message from him that I will share. Unfortunately, he can't be here, but that's fine. I totally get it. Congratulations to you, Flavio. Very excited for you, and it looks like you had a really, really good time. We'll look more into that here in a minute. But I do have 3 very special guests. One that has been on here before, and I will go ahead and introduce him to the show. And that is Gio, the Movie Canon. What is up, my friend?
Hello, Brick. Thank you so much for inviting me again here. It's a lot of fun. Bugle 6, make sure to join the Brickyard, guys. Go ahead and do that as soon as possible. And thank you so much again, Brick, for inviting me here. And congratulations to Mr. Flavio, and happy birthday to him as well.
Absolutely. You know, you're better at talking about the Brickyard than I am getting those memberships. I'm so bad at bringing that up. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me with that, but I appreciate you 100%. Yeah, very, very awesome to have you back here. Thank you for coming back. You're actually the first person to come on the Bugle 6 twice. So other than Flavio, of course, but yeah, so I appreciate you coming on here again. Must have had some fun in the previous episode, which I sure did. So let's go ahead and bring on the other guest. Next up, we have a guy who really changed my mind on a lot of things, especially with Predator. And I recently watched Prey thanks to him, and now I'm going to be probably pre-ordering that figure. So thanks a lot, Hot Toys Hotline. Ooh, kissing that Spidey.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's great to be here. Brick, thank you so much for having me on. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. And it's awesome to be on the Bugle 6 finally. I've been catching up on all the episodes. You said episode 9. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Almost
Dude,
episode
it's crazy.
10.
It's crazy. We do some giveaways, so we'll probably have a giveaway episode 10, but yeah, it's going by super fast. Just really excited to have you on here. Honestly, I've been a huge fan and friend of your show and your channel and you. So thank you for being on here. Really do appreciate it.
It's an honor to be here, man.
I have another guest here too. He was actually on another live stream of mine called The Life Lego Built before I kind of transitioned fully into 1/6 figures, at least 98%. So I do have Mr. Collecting Madness, first time on the Bugle 6. Welcome. So you guys are crazy. Love it. It's gonna be a fun show. Hey, good to have you back on a live stream. Good to be on a live stream with you again, man. So it's gonna be a wild show. We're gonna be talking a lot of Star Wars. We'll be talking the figures, of course, that were announced, and one that was actually released. So we'll be talking about that, and as well as ranking the Star Wars movies, not the shows, live action or animated, not the shows, but all of the movies. So, of course, top or bottom, and we're going to get into a little something else as well. But guys, how's everybody been?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Fantastic, man.
It's good.
I'm
above ground.
Yeah, right. That's a good thing.
I'm excited to meet you guys, Collecting Madness and Hot Toys Hotline. I never streamed with you guys before. I just started watching you guys actually maybe like a month ago or so. So I'm enjoying your content. So it's very nice to have you guys on here.
Appreciate it, man. Likewise. I've seen you all over the place. And then when you started coming in the chats and stuff, I'm like, I know that guy. And I've seen you in Graham's channel and stuff and over with Brick and stuff. So it's great to finally meet you and to stream with you and to talk about toys, right? That's the best part about this whole hobby is talking about the toys, man.
Yeah, sure. I know the name behind the Movie Canon now because I've definitely heard that.
He is the Movie Canon.
He is the Movie Canon. And you got to go to, what was it, CaliCon? Right?
Yeah.
And meet some people. So that's cool.
Right. CaliCon 2024. I don't know if it's officially called CaliCon 2024 or Cali Collectors Con 2024. So I was there yesterday at Calvin's barbecue. Low-key collector, a bunch of guys came over here to SoCal. Some of them from Massachusetts. Some of them are kind of more local, like myself. and we had a lot of fun there. A lot of cool stuff happening there. Met a few guys there that I've seen them on other streams and things like that, but I've
Sure.
seen them before. And then there was a couple of them that I've only seen the name in the live chats, but I don't really know like what they look like. So, but it was
Yeah.
fun. It was a fun time. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. I need to meet up some of you guys like in real life. That'd be amazing. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
lucky to have Evil Sneaker and the Jedi Knights Watch live close by, but really want to meet more people. So need to get to
Speaking
more
of,
cons.
of Steve, I heard you mention in like your Predator that Connors, I guess, persuaded you into. You know, he just likes to
Yeah,
spread his
jerk.
sickness all over everybody. And Steve and I had this convo.
Dude,
You
it's
know, just don't let him get, because he'll get in there, man. Next thing you know,
All
you're
right.
buying DeLoreans and whole line.
This guy had never seen Back to the Future. That is not my fault. That's
That's
not my
crazy.
Fault. He
That's
and I didn't even
crazy.
have to tell him. Look, with Brick, I was like, dude, I bet you're gonna buy the figure once you see the movie. With Chris, he just bought the stuff. No one made him do anything. I was all on him.
That is not how it went at all. And then somehow he gets me buying stuff from him. Like,
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this
One-stop
guy,
shop.
Hot Toys Hotline man's like, hey, Batmobile's free. I found a Batmobile. Hey, I found a. I
Dude,
love it though. It's
Jack of
good
all
stuff. I
trades,
appreciate
man.
it. No, I appreciate it too, because you just never know when it's time to pull that trigger and go for it. So it's pretty sweet having friends look out for you, you know. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Let's check in with the chat real quick before we start the show here. But we have X-Man Supreme. Hello, friend amigos. What is up, X-Man Supreme? Dude, I am enjoying the heck out of your new album that you released, you and your band. I have not listened to all of it yet, but definitely it's really good. It's actually not what I expected, but it's actually pretty solid. I don't have the link right now for everybody to go on Spotify and kind of download it or listen, but I will definitely put that I'll post that on the story on Instagram or something, or you can post in the chat. But thank you for being here, guys. On your way in, we got 23 in the chat. So go ahead and hit that like button. Stick around. We got a heck of a show coming for you guys. So Nick Bachman, what is up, my good sir? Mr. Pancake himself, yo, saying what's good, chat. We got Collecting Madness, of course, saying what's up to you guys. Christian Cooper, what is up, broski? What's up, my guy? Thank you for being here as always. Evil Sneaker, too sweet, my brother. Evening all, saying hi to everyone in the panel and the chat. Man, I bet you Sneaker's really which I know he is just excited for all this Star Wars news. I know he went to like the marathon movie. I think he saw the first 6 movies and got this amazing poster.
Yeah, and he couldn't
now
get me one, dude. He made me cry.
Yeah, man. Now, I was hoping he would like, you know, there'd be like popcorn buckets there or something. He'd get me like, isn't there like a
yeah, so when Chris and I saw Phantom Menace, they had literally an R2D2, but it was $50.
Oh man,
Wow.
$50.
Yeah,
You know,
for a popcorn
yeah,
bucket.
that's tough. That's
People
tough.
were
The one that I
buying
really
it.
wanted. Yeah, I know like Deadpool's coming out with a new one, and like they're really getting into it because I think it's getting people to kind of go to the movies just to get the popcorn bucket. I mean,
Yeah.
it's working. So go ahead, Madness. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying it was like people were buying it or whatever.
Yeah,
Nah, they were.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
cool.
online too. They had like tin ones, like the cups and the popcorn. So there was a bunch of different things for Phantom Menace.
nice.
I even saw other places. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the Lego store on May the 4th, and it's actually my wife's birthday as well. And we went shopping and had a good time. But stopped at the Lego store, and they had like, you know, the Burger King hats. They had one for R2D2, so my kids got R2D2 hats. So that was really
Okay.
cool.
That's
walking
cool.
around the mall as R2D2. So pretty sweet. We got, of course, the Movie Canon saying hello to all the collectors out there as well. And everyone just kind of talking amongst each other. We got Jose Hernandez. Hello, everyone. What is up, my friend? Thank you for being here. Let's see who else we got. Collection Obsession. Hello, all. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. And we got Darth Tamaris in the house. Howdy, Brick. Howdy, sir. Thank you for being here as well. And we got Flavio. Hello, everyone in the chat on the panel dropping by the show. to show some love. He's actually, I believe, seeing Phantom Menace. It is his birthday, so everybody wish him a happy birthday. And sir, I have a message for you from you for the chat, and I'd like to show that real quick because it's a perfect timing. Hopefully, you're not embarrassed, but you will be.
Yo, everybody. It was a great May 4th. Thank you guys for being here. They took my alcohol away from me. And I love the 1-6 community. It was a great day. And shout out to everybody. I love you all. May the 4th be with you.
I'll end it there, but this guy is at his wedding at the end of his ceremony, and he posts a story. Oh man, I love you, Flavio. Good stuff. Glad you had a good time at the wedding. Looks like you had a fabulous time. So
Looked like he was about to raise
Sounds
us
like
up.
they-
That's what I was expecting.
It sounds like they took it away too late.
I know, right?
He's still
They
conscious.
took
so.
my alcohol away. He seems so sad.
And he was still thinking about us collectors too on his
Sure,
wedding
he
night.
was.
So-
He was.
and drunk.
was.
And yeah.
No, but congratulations, sir, and happy birthday. We got Movie Canon gifting 1 Brick Artemis membership. Somebody got a membership to the Brickyard. I have no idea how to check that, you guys. I saw on your show yesterday, Hotline, that you were checking to see who
Pops
got
up it pops up in the chat. It was actually Thrawn's office
Oh.
that got it.
Oh, you already know?
Yeah, it popped up in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
very sweet. Congratulations, Thrawn's office. So is that random when somebody is gifted?
Yeah, it just randomly
Okay.
picked somebody in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you, Gio. I appreciate that. You don't have to do that all the time, but it's
know.
definitely appreciated. And guys, if you guys haven't yet, join the Brickyard. We have some fun. We got some polls for the memberships, of course, some cool emojis, maybe first access to some of the videos. So tag along with the Brickyard, become part of the Brickyard. We got okay. This is my guy, and I actually talk to him a lot through comments and whatnot. And I see him a lot in like other streams. Giovan, am I saying that right, guys?
Seems right. That's
Sweet.
what I would say.
Okay, what is up, my friend? I'm bad at saying like these names. Hello, everyone. So thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate it. Let's just go through here a little bit. Everybody's saying hello and talking about. He says yes, that's right. So good. And of course, Flavio is happy and clapping. So all good there. X-Man saying, laugh out loud, go to the Brickyard and get on the poll. Gosh.
That's Chris, that
Okay,
ain't
guys.
me.
So we got a lot to talk about today. So I know you guys are on East Coast, at least the two of you guys, Collecting Madness and Hotline, you guys are East Coast. Gio, I believe you're in Cali, so pretty early for you, but I don't want to make the show too long because I know you guys probably got to work in the morning and whatnot, but I do want to go ahead and talk about real quick some movie news. Okay, now we got a little more of a sneak peek of this new Superman suit from Mr. Corn Sweat himself. I love that name. It's getting a lot of heat. It's getting a lot of hate, I'm noticing, and a lot of different chats, a lot of different comments on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Like I'm just seeing a lot of like more so like dislikes than likes. I happen to like it a lot. And that might just be too because I am extremely excited for James Gunn's DC run here. But I want to start with you, Chris. What do you think of this new? Are you a Superman fan? Are you a DC
He's
fan?
my
Are you
all-time-
kind of? What's that?
Sorry to interrupt. I was just gonna say he's my all-time favorite superhero.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice. So, what do you think of this suit
Yeah.
then?
I think it kind of goes with his name. It's corny to me. I don't like it at all. And I don't know if that's because I'm still riding like a Henry Cavill train and I'm upset by it, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care for the colors. It does look like he's been through a little bit of hell, like fighting and stuff, so it's a bit grimy and dirtied up. But it's almost like they mix a whole bunch of different stuff, like comic look, movie look, like even doing from the CW. It's just weird to me. The colors are a little bit darker. The suit's not as tight as I'd like it to be. And then they did bring the trunks back, which I know that's kind of like how he is anyway, but I kind of liked how they were going with a more modern take, at least when they had Henry Cavill in the suit. So I don't know. I got to see more of him standing up and flying with the suit, you know, see him in action.
Yeah, I agree.
It's-
I kind of wish like the first look was a stand-up photo, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah, as far as like just seeing this picture, I told Connor, I texted him, it reminds me of like when Turbo Man was put into his rubber suit. Like, just I don't know. I don't.
Turbo
Something about
Man.
it just gives me the ick. I don't like it. Him putting a boot on, like it's weird to me.
Yeah, you're not supposed to see him getting dressed up, right? It's supposed to.
That's what I'm saying. Like it almost human. Like I know he tries to be human or whatever, but it basically humanizes him.
It's like, oh, another day on the job. Here we go, Monday.
Yeah, you already have him like Clark Kent. That's his, you know, normal side. When you get, you know, Superman, you're talking about like somebody from another planet. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
expect my final thought. I expect something like this from Spider-Man.
okay. Yeah, I can see that. What about you, Connor?
So there's some things I am okay with the suit, and there's some things I don't like. Like, I actually don't mind the S logo. I think that looks pretty cool. What I'm not really liking, and I do want to see more, I'm going to kind of take that stance. You know, it's just him sitting down, hunched over. We can't see like the true colors of the suit or what the trunks look like, the complete look. But I don't like that like line work going across the shoulders. I think it looks a little goofy. And you know, we're kind of in that phase right now where kind of, you know, very similar to Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Everybody's like, that sucks. You know, you see the first look of a new person taking over a big role like this, everybody's going to crap on it. That's just what's going to happen. So you're seeing that people are looking at like that blast from the sky in the background and saying it looks like CW is producing this. You know, all the comments are flooding in. I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with it. Am I like floored by the look of this suit? Not really. You know, just at first glance, I could probably tell you I'm not going to like it as much as any of the Cavill suits. That's just my personal opinion. But I want to see more. And, you know, it's such a dark shot, and you really don't see too much there. Again, I want to see the complete look with the trunks and everything. I want to see what it looks like. Just at first glance, I just don't like that like line work across the shoulders. It looks a little goofy to me. But, you know, I'm not going to jump the gun. You know, I gave Robert Pattinson a chance. I was really like kind of reserved when he was announced, and I'm going to do the same thing for James Gunn's DC universe. So,
Yeah, sure. I actually agree with you on those lines. It kind of reminds me of like that Spider-Man look where he's got all those lines, or like Miles Morales from like the video game. You know, he has those lines all over his arm. So yeah, that bothers me a little bit. I can get behind that. Gio, Movie Canon. What do you think of the suit?
I mean, I don't really mind the suit, but I'm not super invested in Superman as I am for Batman. Now, we do need to see, you know, the whole suit, you know, him standing up and everything, and we do need to see him in action. I think once we see that, then we might get obviously a much better idea of what this suit's going to look like. I know when they first revealed or they showed Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in the first Suicide Squad movie, I wasn't a fan of that, and now I kind of like it. And then there was some other ones too that they revealed that you know, the first impression was not good, but then once we actually saw it in action, it was a better and different situation there. So yeah, so I mean, like I said, you know, it's I don't mind it at all. It looks like he may have what the red trunks or the red underwear now. It looks like maybe,
Yeah.
which they got rid of in the Cavill suits. But yeah, but overall, I don't really mind it. And then there's that thing in the background where you see like the flame, which I mentioned in Spotchka's stream earlier about the purple flame there that looks like it's Godzilla firing at that thing there. And since they're
I
both
wish.
Warner Brothers, right? So they're just using the same shit. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. And then there's the little raincoats, rain boots, I should say, that he's like trying to put on right now. So yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you guys say, especially those lines, especially like how casual he's just putting on a suit. Like it's almost like a hassle. Like he's waking up Monday morning. He really doesn't want to go to work. You know, it's like, oh, here we go. There's like crap going on in the background. I understand that him putting on the suit like this is most likely not going to happen in the movie. They're probably just like, hey, you know, we're going to take a picture here as you're getting ready and we're going to do some like, you know, Photoshop and put stuff behind you and show the suit for the first time. Get your serious look on, you know, kind of thing. So I'm sure we're not going to be seeing Superman going into his closet and be like, what suit do I wear today? But that being said, I am so excited for this movie. James Gunn, when DC was kind of going downhill, and he made Suicide Squad good. He made he made Peacemaker, which I have not seen all. I'm not going to act like I have, but it was really good what I've seen, and it's got really good ratings. And not only that, but he also did the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I was not for Marvel. I was not excited for that at all. And then when I saw that first movie, I was like, wow, this is like a top 3 at the time Marvel movie so far. I still love that first Guardians movie, and that as a trilogy, I would say one of the best trilogies of all time. I mean, it doesn't compare to like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, but it's definitely up there as one of the better trilogies. It's just amazing. So I'm really excited for James Gunn to take over DC, see what he does. When it comes to like the CW thing, look, James Gunn, he likes his bright lights, his crazy, you know, pinks and purples and you know, bright colors. We've seen it in Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw Starfish in Suicide Squad. It's going to be like that, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm really excited for that. I haven't seen James Gunn miss in a superhero movie yet. So that's what makes me excited for this. The one thing I don't like about this that wasn't really mentioned, I like the boots. I like the logo. I love, or the symbol. I love the hair. I think he looks great as Superman. I'm just not a big fan of the cape over the shoulders. Like it looks like it's kind of like popping up a little too much.
Yeah, Ride's pretty.
I don't care
high
for
on
the collar, like the neck either.
Yeah, I agree, and that's something that is like kind of eye catching, like an eyesore more so than anything else.
Hopefully, because he's hunching over. Maybe like when he's fully standing
hopefully
up, you know.
Yeah, maybe it'll like come
down.
down. Maybe
Boots, like, and he's gonna be flying around, you know, planet Earth trying to reverse time or something. Them things are flying off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's left with just
something that and I'm sorry, Chris, but I wasn't the biggest DC fan the last 10 years. I love Man of Steel. Man of Steel was amazing. That was a great movie. I love when Zod comes to Earth. Like that was one of the coolest scenes ever. Very, very good movie. Cavill did great. I love Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was another really good movie, and I actually sort of kind of had fun with Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn, and thought Deadshot was played very well by Will Smith. Other than the rest of the movie, I thought the movie was fine. The story wasn't all there. The villain was terrible, but it was fun. And then all of a sudden we get like, not in any specific order, but we get like a terrible version of Justice League, which they had to redo and give us the right version. I wasn't a huge fan of Batman versus Superman. I thought Batfleck was fine. He was good. And they had like the Nightmare Batman was cool. But it never went anywhere. It's almost like Game of Thrones where you have like the Night King and everything, but it never gets to that point, to what we want. And And then there's Wonder Woman 2. It was, Aquaman I was never really a fan of. So Black Adam, Shazam was fun, but it wasn't quite like, whatever. I love Blue Beetle. I don't know why, but I really did enjoy that movie. So knowing that he's coming to this kind of universe is going to be pretty cool. So hashtag we need a Blue Beetle figure. So I'm really excited to kind of get a reboot. With the mess that Ben Affleck had with like getting his solo movie that never happened, and everything else, like it was time. And I think I'm excited for this. So any last thoughts on DC, guys?
I had some, how you mentioned like Superman is like his Monday morning, right? So it's kind of like because obviously they dropped this today, Monday, and I'm thinking like, well, this is a comparison from your Monday morning to this is Superman's Monday morning. Like he's like getting ready, and then the shit going on in the background, some chaos happening. So he's getting ready. So that's kind of how I kind of interpret this particular image here. So that's why I kind of like it. So
Yeah, I just want to say,
and
BVS
like
is great.
Christian Cooper saying in the, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was gonna speak up for
We'll talk
Graham
behind
and
the
everybody
scenes.
else in the
I don't
chat.
want to.
BVS is the best. Don't you dare talk about BVS, dude.
Really?
All I'm gonna say is if you keep talking about BVS, Batman might come out of nowhere and hit you in the head with a sink. That's all I'm saying, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. I have my problems. It had a couple of good scenes. You guys are never coming back on this show. Had a couple good scenes, okay? But it was just there's a lot of bad things about that movie too. Lex Luthor, Martha, like that. It was just.
No,
I would
a lot
agree
of
with Lex
things in that movie
Luthor.
that
I would
could've
agree
been-
with Lex Luthor. I did not like that version.
No,
Yeah.
I liked Lex Luthor. One, I like the actor, but I definitely like how he played them against each other. Like, I feel like that's why a lot of
I didn't
people
like
don't
how
the
Metropolis
movie,
was
is
like
that
right here,
aspect. They don't
Gotham, like.
understand it as much. I don't know.
yeah, I
No,
didn't
but
like
I mean,
Eisenberg.
I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I just felt like it started like with Man of Steel and Wonder Woman, like it started. Well, I guess Wonder Woman came after BVS, but like it was like up and down, and then it just got like worse, like as the movies went on, and that's just my opinion. Sorry, but
Bugle 6 is
to each
getting
their
shut
own.
down.
To each their own. Anyways, I won't get too much more into that, but we have the Jedi Knights Watch in the house, saying hello to everyone, and of course saying how much he loves BVS. So I don't want to trash it too much, but he also says, but it looks like he's not happy to go to work and is taking his time. Looks like me getting ready on a Monday morning for work. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Exactly. We got Danny in the house as well. What is up, Danny Spotchka? Thank you for being here. I got a few people who left the chat, so I'm gonna stop talking about the chat. So I'm gonna stop talking about DC here while I can. I'm actually a big DC fan. I just had my issues with the previous movies. But yeah, we got a couple more people in the chat, so appreciate you guys being here. We got How You Figure here as well, saying BVS is trash. So thank you, bro. Watch it, Justin. This is fun. Let's move on. I've got Connor is about to leave with Chris here, and let's move on to some figure talk. So here we go. Let's see. Okay. So usually I make like a pretty decent looking like slideshow for all these figures, but it was just so much to kind of talk about. So I'm just going to go on their Facebook page here and kind of do it that way. So let's see here. You guys want to talk about the Scout Trooper first that was released?
Sure. Yeah, we'll take a look.
All right. Can you guys see it? Make sure it's on there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So are any of you guys getting this figure? Did you guys pre-order this or going to purchase it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you why I pre-ordered it. Oh, sweet, Hot Toys is finally going to give us a Cal Kestis. I'm going to get this this Scout Trooper to go along with him and have him stabbing the Scout Trooper with his lightsaber. Surprise, there's no Cal Kestis still. Like, come on, man. Like, it is a really cool figure. You know, it's got some different parts that the regular Scout Troopers that was received previously don't have. But come on, man. Like, that's such a letdown because the story of those two games is so good. And I was just really, really hoping to see figures finally. Because I get it with the first game. EA didn't expect the game to do as well as it did, so they really didn't merchandise the first game as much. But for the second game, I was sure we were going to get a Cal Kestis, but here we are. So I did get it. I'm still going to keep my pre-order, but I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. Do you think he's coming ever?
When's the timing right? You know, all the hype of the game is come and gone. When's it? I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I would hope so, but I feel like they would have done it by now. Why did they only do this, you know?
Why do you think they haven't done Cal Kestis yet? Is there? I don't think it's a actor.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think it would be licensing because he seems like a pretty big fan of Star Wars as a whole. So I don't think it would be that. I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer. I'm not sure.
Man,
the game
they
is
do whatever they want. They always have incomplete lines. There's so
like the game.
Yeah,
like the game is popular. It made money. It did well. So it can't be that. And obviously, we don't think it's the actor. They obviously have the licensing for it. So I have no idea.
And why just this? Why get the licensing for a game?
Let's
and
be
you
honest.
Just do a Scout
they
Trooper?
have the mold for a Scout Trooper already. Like that, I didn't get this. The speeder bike Endor look is the only one that I need. But they did one for the Mandalorian, one for Return of the Jedi. So this literally was probably in the bucket for them, like just easy, just spitting out a trooper and add a Poltron.
It's just so, you know, the weird thing is why just this? Like, I get, you're totally right, Chris, but why just this? Like, you just called it a day. Jedi Survivor, you get this figure, that's it. Like, it's just so bizarre to me, and it's just such a weird. Like, I would have preferred just Cal Kestis and leave it at that. Everybody would have been perfectly happy.
The game, the creators, whoever.
Do you think it had something to do with
make something for the game? And Hot Toys is like, well, we got this, we can do this real quick, whip it up, spit it out, there you go.
Well, here's the other weird thing, right? In 3.75 and 6-inch scale, they did multiple Cal Kestises, they did multiple different troopers and droids and stuff from both games. So it's like other companies are doing it. Why didn't Hot Toys jump on the bandwagon? Like, they just announced, actually, they just announced that Imperial Cal, where he's got like the Imperial white tunic on. They just announced that recently. So they're still doing figures for these games. And they just announced another character from the Game for Black series too. So it's like, I don't know.
We've had that talk before, though, like, because those are easier scales to mass produce. Like 6 scale, I guess, takes longer time, so they're not going to do all of that. But
yeah, but it would sell. Cal Kestis would definitely sell. Like, I feel like that would be a mold that's worth their time.
Dude, I was at Disney World when the lightsaber first went up, and that line was backed up all the way.
Yeah, look at all the people buying the lightsaber that probably never even played
all the way
game.
out to the front, dude. It was insane. So it's in demand.
Do you guys think it has something to do with? Do you guys think it has something to do with maybe like the video, you know, the video game licensing like fell through? And they already had this one kind of in the bag, and then it like kind of not ran out, but like it just didn't work out. Like it cost more money to get him, and it just fell through, and then it just never happened. Do you think they're saving that figure for later? I don't know.
Is there a licensing where it's just like it's only licensed for, let's say, a few months, and then you have to like renew? Is that how that works? I'm not sure if that's how it works, but.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I would assume so, but I don't know who makes the game. What industry or
it's EA.
It's EA. I don't know why I was thinking Activision, but yeah. So maybe it has something to do more with EA and not obviously Disney. But
perfect example, like Battlefront figures. We just got another Battlefront figure, Umbra, and that's EA. So it's like
that's true.
They have a relationship with them for these Hot Toys figures. So it's like, I don't know. It's so hard to say what the holdup is. You could be right. It could be Hot Toys is like, you know, we have too much going on right now. We're done with this license. We don't have time for it. Because we saw that last year with Return of the Jedi. We got way less than we thought we would because it just didn't fit in with like all the shows and everything they had to make figures for in the movies and stuff. So it's possible that it just didn't fit into their schedule.
Yeah.
You never know.
They should have time now with the whole strikes and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
We're still dealing with that.
Right. Yeah. Figure's really cool though. I love that how hard they tried here in these photos, like with like over the water. I think that's pretty sweet
I
though.
know.
Like, I wish I could take pictures like that.
I also
So
said, sorry.
go ahead. No, you're good. You're fine.
I think there's a delay by chance. When
There is a delay because it's like he's unironically like cutting us off on accident because it's like, and I've been watching him. I've been like looking. I was gonna type it in the chat, in the private chat, but it's like it happens sometimes and other times it doesn't. So
yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, well, the I don't even remember what I was gonna say, to be honest.
I thought Brick froze for a sec.
Yeah, I'll come back to it.
All right.
My
fault. My fault. I don't know if I'm delayed or what, but yeah, my fault on that. So
you're good now. Right now, you're good.
Good. Let's see. Yeah, we got Jedi saying not much different than a gold or silver variant. Easy and lazy trooper, he says.
Yeah.
It is pretty easy. I mean, they pretty much already had it. It is pretty sweet though.
Yeah, I like the pauldron.
He also says, "Who is Cal Kestis?"
what I was gonna say. We talked about this last night. Is they could also just be leaving room for other stuff in the future to be on the table. Like if they just spit it all out, we all want it. You know, the demand, but they gotta have something for in the future too. So who knows, man? Really communicate.
Yeah, who knows? I saw I think it was Giovan saying something about how he thinks it will. Here we go. How he thinks, my theory is Cal is being saved for a possible light side event that Hot Toys may do after the dark side event is over, which is possible. However, dark side is not just Hot Toys, like a whole like event for Lego and everybody. So I don't know if they would do a light side event.
Yeah, it's like a whole license.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's possible they might do something similar to that, or Hot Toys might just say, hey, we're trying to get all these dark side figures out in time before going to a more detailed character. So yeah, anyone else getting this besides Connor?
No. I pre-ordered plenty of troopers last week.
Did you? There's that delay again, dude.
Yeah.
Stop cutting. Oh, shit.
I mean, yeah. If we get to that, yeah. So I ordered some troopers from last week, but not this one. Not this one here.
Okay. Man, so let's move on to. Is it really that bad? Are you guys like?
Right now, it is like.
Dude,
I was looking at your face. You were like, okay, and it's like.
There's like a brief pause of silence. You know, like the weather
Yeah,
channel
I
where
can.
it's like back to you.
I mean, I can.
And then
Justin said you're running on dial up.
Man, I could always leave and then come back, but I don't think that'll end the show as long as I keep it running. So
no, it should still have you in or have us in. Yeah.
Let me leave and then I'll come back, guys. I apologize. I don't want to have this going for another hour though.
There was even a delay of him leaving.
And welcome.
Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Yomo in the house. What's up, man? We got to take it over now. Gio, you're in the host spot technically, so you're the new host. So we're gonna put it all to you, man.
So much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Here, guys. While we're here, might as well brag a little now. Not bragging, but just to show you guys something really cool. I know Steve's salivating right now because it's something he wanted to pick up. But on the Bugle 6, we might as well talk about Spider-Man real quick. Right? There you go. Really cool. Perfect timing.
Very, very nice. How am I
Just a
now?
quick
Better?
Spider-Man segment for you, dude.
Yeah. Am I better or no?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
If I'm not better, then one of you guys are gonna take over as host and just run with it. No.
It seems like
hopefully-
it's like visually laggy, but your voice is in
Right.
sync right now. So.
Right.
Okay.
It's your answer
Okay.
after us. So if you respond quick after us, then
Yeah. Well, my bad. Well, see, for me, I am I am responding quickly. So I don't know. I blame
okay.
you three. It's not me. So right after you guys talk, I start talking, and it's
Yeah, it's really bad timing because it's like we talk and then it's like a gap in what you're saying, and you're like, and then it comes out, and we're like, oh, great.
Right.
It's like a Godzilla movie. Oh, it's good stuff.
Like a bad
All
dubbed
right.
film. Yeah.
Well, we will keep going. What I might do this time is I'll have you guys talk about. This is terrible. I don't even know what's going on, but you guys are starting to laugh. So, guys, talk about a little bit before I actually show the figures. Some of the Star Wars figures, if you guys pre-ordered any of them, and then we'll start talking about them. But I'm gonna leave one more time. Disconnect the internet and come back rather than just leaving, and then give me like 2 minutes and I'll be back, and hopefully it's better. All right, guys, I appreciate it. My apologies.
What kind of host do we have here, guys? Just completely abandon us. Well, guys, since we have to take over for 2 minutes while he's gone, in the chat, let's ask this question to the chat. What did you guys pick up from the most recent announcements for May the 4th? Since he's not here to ask you guys, I will ask you guys in the chat. We'll try to be kind of fly-by-night hosts here. I know how to do this. Come on now, I know how to do this.
Right. So,
well, I'm glad you asked, Connor. In fact, I picked up 3 figures at this event.
Which is huge for Chris, because usually it's like, oh, I'm not getting it.
Yeah,
Chris,
literally.
tell the people in the chat. Tell the people in the chat and tell us on the panel. What did you pick up with your little tech deck microphone?
So, I got the Stormtrooper, which isn't branded at Return of the Jedi, but it's basically Return of the Jedi. I then
that was an odd one. It wasn't branded because it's Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper.
It's literally same thing. I got the Darth Maul with the speeder. That's special edition, so I'm getting a coin with that one. And then I got the Artisan Dark Empire Luke, also with the coin.
How many people are going for the coins? You know, because there's a discussion brought up of like, do I want to save money or do I want to get the coins? I got the coins.
I don't know. For me, if it's thrown in there as an extra accessory for the same amount of money, I want it. Like,
right.
I want whatever is offered is the most you can get for your money.
Brick, when you left, the viewership went up. I'm just saying.
Dude, I noticed.
I think we're
I
on to
noticed
something
that.
here. Keep leaving and coming back.
I noticed that, man. It makes me feel so good. How is it now? Is it okay or?
It's actually a lot better.
It's better,
A lot
yeah.
better.
Okay. It is better.
Okay. I didn't even restart anything. I took, so I'm going landline right now just because of what happened one day with Wi-Fi when I was on somebody else's stream, and I just unplugged the landline and plugged it back in and a couple times to see what.
So Justin wasn't too far off about the dial-up comment. Wasn't too.
I know what the. This is a good
yeah, you're
show.
getting cooked tonight, dude. You're getting cooked.
Dude, it's on my own show, and I come back on and go from 29 to 25. It's fine.
So I don't know if you heard, but we asked the
about
chat what
BBS.
they picked up from May the 4th.
Okay.
So that's why everybody's posted in the chat what they picked up. That's where we are right now.
Let me see. And if I missed you in the chat, I'll try to pick you up. But I've been in and out, so I apologize for that, guys. But yeah, Thrawn's in here. I see you. How you figure Brick about to go yell at his family for streaming Netflix. Get the hell off the TV.
Turn off your devices.
What y'all doing?
Disconnect the Wi-Fi.
I'm just trying to watch you, Dad.
This is what happens when you roast BVS, my guy.
Right. I know. I was
Karma.
gonna say that. That's what happens, man.
Tell
like
me, do you believe?
They're watching
You-
BVS right now.
you said the Dark Knight's gonna be coming and smack me over the
He's
head.
gonna
I
hit you
think
with the sink, dude. Any second now. You're about to
Yeah,
get
I think-
cracked.
I think he's messing with my internet here. Aaron Collects in the house. What's up, my friend? Thanks for watching here. Thanks for joining. Yomo in the house as well. I haven't picked up anything yet, but Maul is a no-brainer for me. Christian Cooper saying he got Maul with the speeder.
Nice.
Ron's office going kind of hard. You got Revan, Maul, and Luke so far, I think.
I think.
I
I love that little extra on the end.
Christian saying it's funny as F. Good stuff. Good stuff. Coins mean nothing to me. And I think I heard, let me know if my voice starts getting all weird again, but I think I heard Chris say something about, if you're spending the same amount of money though, and you have a chance to get that coin, like I'm going to go ahead and pre-order, might as well. Because you know what, to me, it's complete. It kind of reminds me of like what InArt did with the mouse. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the mouse might be a little bit more important because it's like an accessory. It goes with the figure, whatnot. But if you're going to be paying the same amount of money, you might as well go for that coin. You know what I mean? So
wasn't it Kaiju Daddy yesterday, Connor, that was saying it's actually going for more as well?
Oh yeah, so Kaiju is in Japan. He said through Toy Sapiens they're charging extra. We did the conversion. It was like 16 USD to get the coin.
I saw that when you guys were. Yeah,
That's
crazy.
Wow.
It's a little stamped metal coin. I can't imagine that cost them more than like 2 cents to make. That's messed up.
Branded Hot Toys.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there you go. Once it stamps that Hot Toys on it, yeah.
Yeah. How you figure saying I want the coin from Maul. I'll take the accessory if it's no extra cost.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pay extra for the coin. I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if it was an extra like 10, 20, 25 bucks,
No
I'd
shot.
probably pass.
No shot.
No shot at all. So real quick, X-Man saying Brick Artemis at Kate Bishop is dope ass figure. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right there. There she is. Whoop, whoop. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about some of these figures, guys. Again, I apologize for being in and out. We'll get this show flowing pretty smoothly here from here on out. So appreciate the wait on all of that. Let's see. Let's get me back on Facebook here. Boom. And I want to go ahead and get into the good stuff here. I want to talk about Mr. Darth Maul. Since we're talking about coins and we kind of been talking about Maul here for a second, guys, what do you guys think of this Darth Maul? Are you guys excited for this 2.0? Do you guys actually think that there are differences in this figure as I do? I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Gio. What do you think of this Darth Maul here?
I think it's awesome. I was waiting for this figure because, I started collecting a little bit over a year ago, and I know I wanted a Darth Maul hot toy figure, but specifically from the Phantom Menace. And I didn't want to pay the secondary market prices for it, but I knew that the 25th anniversary was coming this year, 2024, and I was hoping that they would reissue or do a 2.0 of Darth Maul. And I know that there's the other Darth Mauls, like the Clone Wars one that is like readily available, and I could have pulled the trigger for that one, but I knew I wanted specifically from Episode 1, and I'm glad I waited as long as I did. I even talked to my younger brother about it because he told me once, like, oh, that Clone Wars Darth Maul, it's on sale. It was like 20% off or something like that, and I could have gotten it then, but I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. And then we got this announcement. It looks awesome. It does look better. I say better than the original one that came out, I don't know how long ago, several years ago. The head sculpt is better. It looks like it still comes with the Sith speeder, which I think a lot of people didn't think that they would do that, right? And so I picked this up, like probably the fastest one that I've ever done. I saw it. They dropped it on Sideshow like at 10 p.m. I think it was May 3rd, I believe. So I went in there and I got the one with the speeder and with the coin. So I got that one, and I'm very excited for this. So I'm just hoping for more Phantom Menace figures because I want to recreate that Duel of Fate scene because I don't have an Obi-Wan and I don't have a Qui-Gon Jinn either. So I'm waiting for those. So yeah. Great announcement. Very excited for it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm happy that this is labeled as Phantom Menace. I know at first it was kind of like, is this Dark Side? Is this Phantom Menace? Like, What is it going to be labeled under? So this kind of gives me hope that we might see that Obi-Wan get announced sooner than later. But before we talk about that, Connor, what do you think of Darth Maul?
So, being that I'm an owner of the first one, I definitely have a unique take on this one. I think it's fantastic. I think in a lot of ways, this is kind of like I would say like a 1.8. That's what I would say. The sculpts are totally new. The likeness to Ray Park is much better. When you slim down the face, you really, because I don't know if you could pull up the photo if you don't mind of the original sculpts next to these, and you'll see like,
let me see if I can.
Yeah, they really slimmed down the face to make it look more like Ray Park. Also, something that, you know, it didn't necessarily bother me, but I was like, I don't understand why they did that. I know it bothered Chris a lot. Are those etched in tattoos on the face of the original sculpts? They've done away with that on the new sculpts, and I think a lot of people are really excited about that because it just adds to that likeness even more.
Yeah. Are those pictures on Facebook, or are they on?
It should be part of the announcement photos. It's one photo, and it has all four of the sculpts, and it's like
here we go.
Neutral expression. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you could see like the difference in the slimness of the face. The teeth are brought closer together. The teeth definitely look more realistic and more accurate to the film. Another really cool detail on this head sculpt is like the shoddy clay job they did at putting the horns on his head in the actual like production of the film.
Yeah.
Hot Toys did a better job at replicating that. If you look at the photos, like it's super close. I think Yixi, I think she sculpted these. I'm pretty sure she did. And she's just incredible. Like she's been doing a lot of like these really like Sideshow's been using her for like their David sculpts and Pennywise and everything. So she's just doing crazy stuff. Also, they've slimmed down the body a little bit. I don't know if they've just taken out the fat suit and used that same body or if they've done a new body. But he looks much better. And you can even see here in the photos, look at the shoulders. Look how like kind of chunky they look on the old one. And then on the new one, you can see they're just more tapered and more like accurate to Ray Park's body type. So it looks awesome. I do agree with Graham. I hate that like baseball diamond display base. It's massive. I understand with the speeder version, their reasoning for giving him that. But I don't know. I don't like it. And I do like, part of me is like, okay, maybe Hot Toys is doing it because Darth Maul is such like an acrobatic character. You can kind of have more of a platform to have him doing some crazy tricks. I don't know. There's just something about it I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't know. The other half of that is like, okay, if you're not saying to do that, what would you do? I don't know. Maybe a different like square base. I don't know, something smaller.
Sure.
But apart from that, this is definitely a huge upgrade. And then the bike is USB powered as well. That's a huge plus.
That's
so
awesome.
Overall, this is definitely worth the upgrade for me. Surprisingly, I know, big shocker, I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but that's because I'm trying to sell off my DX17 before I pre-order this one. So regardless, I'm going to get in before that 20-day window ends on Sideshow, but I'm trying to sell off the DX17 just so I can get that out of the way first, and then, okay, I'm going for this one. So, yeah, that's my thought on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you noticed that with the shoulders. That's something I actually did not notice. Definitely see a change there. I absolutely love the teeth, more of like a gritty kind of look, more of an angry, menacing look. So yeah, definitely cool to have that. I'm guessing these are still going to be magnetic head sculpts. So it would be kind of cool to, if you wanted different looks, different scenes, or whatever you want to do with your figures. I'm planning on keeping mine. I don't have the 17, but I do have the 16. So to have two Mauls, one with a speeder, is going to be pretty sick. I actually pre-ordered this. Really excited for it. Probably one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, at least top 3. So definitely excited for this one. Chris, you a Darth Maul fan?
Yeah, I'm a Darth Maul fan. This would have been a perfect time to grab my lightsaber. I don't have it out right now.
Who would win? Batfleck or Darth Maul?
Darth Maul.
Just kidding.
Anyways.
Darth Maul didn't even beat a Padawan, dude.
Let's get to Darth Maul. So,
you getting this figure? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like Gio was saying over there, It was 10 p.m. his time. Over here was 1 a.m. So it's probably the fastest I did it. Like day one pre-order, it was like day second one like once it went up, I grabbed it, and I only bought it for the coin. So like once I get the coin, I'm gonna get rid of the figure.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I just wanted the Darth Maul coin.
Just need the coin, man.
I got the I got
try
the
to eat it.
speeder version, and honestly, I'm super excited. So I always thought the DX16 and the 17, like Connor had mentioned, the etching of his tattoos did bother me. I never really cared for the likeness. I felt like it was a little bit too thick. And then especially the screaming sculpt, his likeness was lost a lot in that one for me. So I ended up going with the Sideshow one, and it definitely did its job as holding a place and gave the likeness that I really wanted to see as far as Ray Park goes. And then when they announced this just like blew it out the water, because I had always wanted the accessories from the Hot Toys, like the lightsaber and the speeder bike. So the fact that they just gave a 2.0 and then blew it out the water with the USB functions and updating the paint apps and doing 2 new sculpts, like, and this screaming one, it's not screaming, but like the grinning one, whatever, it's not really still my favorite, but it's a lot more accurate to what you see him do in the film, and I can still see Ray Park's likeness in there. So for me, it's like it was a no-brainer that I was jumping on it for sure. And honestly, comparing this, I said this as well, comparing it to the Sideshow one, I actually think they're very, very close. I would love to see somebody do like a side-by-side still of them. I just think the paint apps on the Hot Toys one, like, dial it up to 100 and completely blow the Sideshow one out the water. Like, I mean, it's got like the texture of the skin and the glossiness.
Yeah.
Those Sith eyes are just killer. So I'm stoked for this one for sure.
Yeah, I agree. The texture on the skin is crazy, especially on that forehead. Where you can see like the lines in his head. Like, you know what I mean? Like his forehead it's mind blowing. The eyes, I love the eyes. I feel like they bring more red out. They kind of fill in more of like the whiteness on the sides too, which I really like. It's not so bright. It's a little bit more dark and fierce. So I like that a lot too. Something I am a little worried about. Yeah, it's amazing. But something I am worried about is the lightsaber. Do you guys think it's going to light up good enough? I'm a little worried that one side's going to light up more than the other side. Like, I just don't know how this is going to work. What do you guys think?
The Grand Inquisitors was fine, and we've mentioned this a few times on other streams, and like it's kind of spread around that the Darth Vader one for some reason is brighter than all the other ones that have come out before. So if that's the continuing trend, I kind of have faith in this. And
you're talking about the Kenobi one, right? The Kenobi Vader.
Yeah. The only thing I would like to see them do is with the Grand Inquisitor, and maybe mine like didn't do it, but there was no switch for you to turn on just one side of it. So I don't know if they're going to do that with Mauls. Like with Kenobi Vader, you have the option to turn off the chest box and just leave the belt, or have it all lit. Whereas like it has the switches for it, but it just didn't do the function. It always lit up both sides. So if you had the blade unplugged, you just had an LED on the back of your hilt. But I know they're not CCFLs and as bright, but I do like that they're no longer the button sewn. You could plug it in and still get some type of effect or light up feature with your collectible. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really excited for that. And the speeder bike. I mean, I just feel like it's more textured and looks way better too. Not just the the light up, functions, but I feel like it looks more realistic. Like the I don't know, the leather, that brownish seating there is just very textured. Really excited for this because I've never had the speeder. So to be able to get the speeder now, with this updated figure is going to be probably my favorite figure ever. So really excited. And it does come with the droid. Okay, yeah, I see the droid there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Another cool thing, and then I'll be done, is like, I know with Reva's lightsabers, they didn't give her the USB feature, and like, you know, the whole thing with Revan, but with him, like, not only is his full staff USB, but then they made when it's cut in half, like the half one is USB as well.
Okay, interesting. And this is goes for 405 for the speeder bike, which is the same price as the 1.0, which is mind blowing in itself. Pretty sweet. And is this a March to August 25 or April to August, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
April to September 2025.
September. Okay. So that's good because I can pre-order it, not worry about it for a while with all these figures coming out at the end of the year. We got a lot of stuff, man. We got Across the Spider-Verse figures, Guardians figures, which I'm kind of calming down about because we haven't gotten a Drax and there's all this stuff. But yeah, a lot of Ahsoka figures, a lot of stuff coming out. So I'm glad this was, and Artisan figures. So just really happy that this and the Artisan Luke Skywalker are pushed to more to 2025. So I think all four of us are getting this this new Maul.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And this is not considered a DX, correct? This is just considered 25th anniversary.
Yep.
I hope they do the anniversary packaging though.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And I know Hotline, you guys were talking about in your show yesterday that we haven't really seen a figure like with a vehicle like this big of a box be in a anniversary.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see if they go that route or if they just give us the classic like shoebox style box. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, be cool. It'd be cool. Yeah, very, very cool. I do want to talk about. Oh, there's the coin there. Real quick though, before I actually move on to Luke Skywalker here, everyone's talking about needing some dark chocolate. Okay, so I also saw that Mr. Jedi Knights Watch. F it, I just PO'd for the chocolate.
You didn't know those were chocolate coins?
I had no idea. But I'm excited.
That's the rumor we're spreading. That's the rumor we're spreading.
Okay, some dark chocolate coins.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I love it. Isn't there a gold coin as well?
Yeah, so if you pre-order from Sideshow, that's what you get.
Okay.
Yeah, this red coin, you have to be at the event, attend the event to place the order. Yeah.
Okay, so we just get the milk chocolate then.
Yeah, we get the milk chocolate. They get the dark chocolate, unfortunately.
Got it.
We'll
Got
take
it. Hey, you know what? Chocolate's chocolate, baby.
That's true.
I love the fact that Ray Park forgot to take out his earring and it just became part of Maul's look. Interesting. I never knew that. I never knew that was like
yeah. So he had it on when they applied the makeup and he didn't take it off when they started filming. And George Lucas saw it. He's like, "Oh, let's just roll with it."
That's cool.
And Hot Toys actually got that detail right, thankfully. Put the earring on there.
Hot Toys and Sideshow. I mean, on all Maul figures, even the toys like the little 6-inch or 3.7, they all have it.
Man, it's pretty sweet. I love that. I did notice the earring. I just never knew that it was like a mistake, that he forgot to take it out. Yeah, USB speeder is a nice feature. Kind of go through some of these comments. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Luke Skywalker. Now, I hate to do this. I don't know if we should talk about the troopers right here. Definitely the Shadow Trooper looks pretty sweet. Are you guys getting the Shadow Trooper? Any of you guys?
Yeah, so I actually sold my old Shadow Trooper to a viewer. I mentioned it on the stream yesterday. I was like, if anybody wants my old Shadow Trooper who doesn't want this new version, hit me up and I'll sell it to you cheap. So they got a good deal and I got it out of my collection so I can get this new one. So yeah, I pre-ordered this one and I sold my old one.
Yeah, it's pretty sick figure. I did not pre-order this one, but I did go ahead and pre-order this Artisan Luke Skywalker. Now there are how many SKUs?
Oh,
like Are there just two or?
So
I thought there
there was a
was
bit of
4.
confusion with the coins through Sideshow. Like people were like, "Where are the coin SKUs?" And Sideshow's like, "You're getting the coin. We just don't have it pictured." So if I had to guess, there would be 2 SKUs for each. You know, actually 3 because there's also places that sell the figure without the coin. So I guess 3 for each, so 6 total.
Okay, wow. Are you guys? I'll start with you, Gio. Are you getting this figure? And if so, are you getting the Artisan or the sculpted?
Yes, I got the Artisan, Luke.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with the source, the Dark Empire comic. I'm not familiar with it, but I thought it looked cool, and I was an Artisan, and I already have the Mando Luke, so I wasn't planning on getting another Luke anytime soon. But this one looked it's different, from the other ones. Obviously, it's a dark side Luke Skywalker, and it was Artisan, so I was like, I'm gonna try to get him. And so far, every time that they've done the Artisan queue on Sideshow, I've been lucky to get into the queue every time that I've tried it, and I was able to get in, and then I got him.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so yeah, I
They
got
like you.
this one here.
The only one that I missed out on that I really, really want is Anakin. That one hurt missing out on, and never gonna live with myself. Be able to. But yeah, I actually got this figure. I'm really looking forward to this Artisan Luke Skywalker, even though I know very little about the comic books. I know this was like during a time where, we weren't supposed to be getting any sequels for these movies. And this is like a comic book run. Like, hey, what if he kind of picked up the mantle of his dad and kind of defeated, Palpatine or whatever in his own way, like if he came back or something like. I don't know the whole story, so I might be a little off, but the only way to kind of win was to kind of experience the dark side a little bit. So it's kind of cool. I'm actually for this. I think, and Connor, I'm going to ask you this: do you think that because it's Artisan and because it's limited drives a lot of people like myself maybe that don't really know the figure but know that it's limited and Artisan, like, you know what, it's Luke, it's Artisan, I'm getting this figure. Do you think that has a lot to do with people wanting it?
Yeah, I mean, I think with this one, it's not, because we have some limited figures that sit for a little bit, the Chrome clones, but this one, it's multiple things, right? It's Luke Skywalker, like you said. So Artisan Luke Skywalker, the first Artisan Luke Skywalker, that's already exciting. And then, you're talking about like a dark side Luke Skywalker, a different side to Luke. Even if you haven't read the comics, which I haven't, I know the general, story behind it. A couple of friends explained it to me. And it's really cool, right? He basically gets forced into submission by Emperor Palpatine and becomes Vader, essentially. And the figure includes a red lightsaber as well, which is really cool to me. So it's a really cool concept. And especially if you pre-ordered Revan and Starkiller, like to have this like Legends shelf that we can now establish in our collections it's incredible. Like this is monumental. It truly is. I was surprised actually, and not surprised, but I should say pleasantly surprised, if anything, that 3,500 piece count went like that for a figure that's kind of niche. I think a lot of people saw that, like you said, that limited factor, but also it's Luke Skywalker and it's limited, right? So
yeah,
kind of saw the same thing with Anakin. There was actually a decent amount of those, but they just disappeared in seconds. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like most of my friends were able to get this one, so I'm pretty excited about that. I did pick up the Artisan. As of right now, I think I have all of the Artisans on pre-order because they're just all figures that have interested me. But this one was one that I really wanted to have. But I will say, I don't want to sleep on the sculpted version because that sculpted hair is beautiful. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a testament to Hot Toys and where they are right now with their sculpted hair. It's incredible. It's some of the best sculpted hair I think I've ever seen. So this is a really dope figure. And everybody needs a clap for Hot Toys that just this one time because the suit is not pleather. It's a nylon material.
Isn't that awesome?
So
Wow. Okay.
we've been crying and complaining, and I've said it many times. I'm like, how do you do an Artisan release, like for the Anakin, for example, and you do pleather tabards? Hot Toys clearly is starting to listen. They're not going to fully listen because we're still going to get pleather here and there, I'm sure. But the suit is not pleather, so that's huge. Also for any future Darth Vader announcements, I have my fingers crossed. We don't know, but maybe they'll upgrade that Return of the Jedi suit before it releases. We don't know, of course. That's just speculation, but too bad they didn't do it before the Kenobi Vader, because that Kenobi Vader still has pleather. So, but that's huge. And Starkiller has the same nylon material in his suit as well. So, a big win for us and Hot Toys. If you're ever listening to any of us, you need to continue to do this, because all this money we're spending, that's the least you could do, right? So that's a huge
100%. Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's sweet. Like, hopefully they start doing that with more figures than just like this Darth Vader looking suit. They do that, because I wish they would have fixed more of like the Scarlet Witch from you know, her Artisan figure. So that would have been cool to knowing that that's pleather, and worries me a little bit, but I'm really excited for that figure as well. But
me too. Yeah.
But Chris, are you getting this Luke Skywalker?
Shockingly, shocked myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
It started out when I first saw it, I was like, nope, not interested at all. And then I knew in the back of my head, I was like, there was a time I remember reading or seeing that Luke had turned to the dark side in order to see what it was like. And then I saw, I think it was Hot Toys or Sideshow posted like what it was based on. And it was the front cover of Dark Empire. And I was like all these memories just came flooding back. And I was like, that's exactly where I've seen it. And basically my dad had all these books that he collected like after Jedi and stuff like that, before Phantom Menace came out and stuff, and Dark Empire was one of them. And so he had a first edition copy or whatever, and it just led me to wanting to pre-order this because I had seen it from it. But I still have it to this day from him. So it's kind of one of those pieces now where I only collect certain things that I have like an attachment to or really connect with, to be able to be put in these displays. And like once I had that connection to be able to tell that story and lead it back to my dad, I had to get the figure. So I got the Artisan version or whatever, again, the whole coin thing. And at this point I have Anakin, Captain Jack, and then now him. I missed out on Wonder Woman, and I didn't want Wanda, but yeah, I surprised myself. I wasn't gonna pick this up at all, and then I was like, man, I've seen that, and it's a really cool story, and it's different, but yeah, and there's like new planet killers, and yeah, it's crazy. And it's Leia and Han end up together still, and she's like pregnant during it, and there's like 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Sounds like a story I definitely need to sit down and read. Sounds very interesting. Kind of like a multiverse almost, you know, like another universe.
Yeah, basically. And it goes through, because it talks about like Palpatine being cloned, like he has clones in there of himself that Luke ends up finding out about. And you can definitely tell, I think, in The Rise of Skywalker, they definitely adapted some of those pieces from this comic.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, what was it? Not the planet killer part, but I'm losing my train of thought here trying to think of that other part that goes with it. But anyways, I picked it up. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I also picked this up because I'm like, you know, it's a Luke Skywalker, and it's different. It's something that's going to stand out. It's something I'm going to love to look at. It's something you don't always see from Luke Skywalker. People are going to ask questions about it when they see the figure on your display. If they come over and look, they're going to be like, what? When did this happen? You can kind of explain everything, like what Hot Toys is doing, the dark side, you know, the comic book run. So definitely different. It's Artisan as well. So I want to try to get as many Artisan figures as I can unless it's a figure that I really just like, well, do I really need a, whatever it might be in the future. So, and this is the first Artisan Luke,
I'm gonna encase this and get a stand for it and have it displayed with the figure.
That would be sweet.
But the thing I remembered is George Lucas, like he had all these ideas and these writers came to. So there's like a lot of these books, like a series of these type of books, and there's even other books that he wrote off on. But he basically like, even though they're not strictly from him, he got to see them, read them, and like basically sign off on them. So.
Wow. We have Brandon Altman in the house. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the show. We got about 30 people in the house right now. Just make sure to hit that like button, guys. Thank you all for being here. Stick around. We got a lot of good stuff coming up, including top or bottom and the Star Wars rankings. We're going to be ranking Star Wars films and, of course, the world of Psychic. But Brandon says there are parts of this comic that might translate into that Ahsoka ending, possibly with the World Between Worlds. Who knows, though? That'd be pretty cool if this somehow translated or kind of like became a reality of some kind within the Star Wars universe that we know of on TV. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like they would probably want to draw from her that George Lucas might be returning for a project. So anything's possible right now.
I've seen those rumors. Yep.
Well, so that rumor actually came from someone that's like very reputable. That's like, a close friend with George, and he worked on the original films with George. So you never know.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of flipping through. It's actually Leia that helps bring him back too from the dark.
Oh, wow.
Spoiler alert, dude. Wow.
Dang. Thanks a lot.
I was thinking of reading it.
Yeah, I was going to read it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I still want to read it. I think.
Yeah, I'll still read it.
Part, dude.
I'll still read it.
That's just a small part.
Look, it's been out since 91, 92.
Right.
But I didn't hear about it until last week.
It's all right. Brick said spoiler alert to me the other day. I didn't realize he didn't finish watching Prey. And he's like, dude, I didn't finish watching it. I'm like, dude,
that part was so cool, right? I'm like, what?
You're like, oh, haven't seen that part. Yeah, I still haven't finished. I'm like, great. Sorry, man.
Oh, no, it's all good. Joven, yes, Starkiller is using that nylon material too. Going to be pretty sweet. So, let's see here. Jedi saying love figures that make you think of loved ones in special times. 100%. That's like my RoboCop here. Definitely makes me, reminds me of being young, my dad, and growing up with him being a cop, and just watching those movies with him at a very too young of an age. You look at those movies now and you're like, wait, what? This is like the worst movie I've seen in the last 20 years when it comes to like the F-bomb in every sentence. But
very
definitely
violent. The first one. That's
and violent. But definitely a great movie and great memories. So Jedi saying gotta hit the sack, fellas. Great show as always. Much love to the panel and Brick 6. Thank you, sir. Wolfpack baby. All right. Thrawn says I always hit that like button twice for the old Brickster.
Brickster, I like that.
Yeah. Isn't it if you hit it and then you hit it again, it unlikes it? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
So he's trying to get some people to unlike is what he's doing.
Oh,
he's always thinking of something.
Yeah. He's always
up to something.
No, I love that guy. Real quick, X-Men Supreme saying, yeah, I love having my Wanda figures who make me think of my loved one, who is Wanda. Yeah, I agree. The wife knows too. That's my celeb crush, for sure. So we are going to go ahead and stop talking about figures. I did want to get a little bit more into the troopers, but I know it's getting late over there. I really want to do this top or bottom and Star Wars ranking with you guys. So we're going to move on. Let's go ahead, guys. I'll explain this as soon as the intro is done, but we're going to go ahead and start top or bottom. All right, so top or bottom for any of you guys who are new around here, such as Collecting Madness and Hot Toys Hotline and the chat, We are going to do what is called top or bottom, and everybody on the panel will any new guest has their own top or bottom. And what it is kind of like this or that. So we have anywhere from 3, 4, or 5, whether it's figures, movies, video games, or what characters in movies. And you have to pick top or bottom. And you can't just pick from that guy from the top, that person from the bottom. It has to be that whole entire row. And if you choose the top, that means the bottom never happened or will ever happen. If you choose the bottom, that means the top will never happen or has never happened and will never happen. So we gotta think about that. I'm gonna go ahead and start with whichever one's actually first. I think I got them together this time. And let's see. We have a top or bottom for Mr. Hot Toys Hotline. Does it look familiar to you at all, sir?
Yeah, it's a lot of figures that I want.
So what the top is are artisan figures that have been announced. And the bottoms is a video that you did on artisan figures that you wish they would do.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, would you rather have these figures that are on top that have already been announced, or on the bottom, would you rather have these be announced for artisan, the first 5?
Man, that is really tough. I'm gonna have to go with the bottom.
Oh wow.
Rooted Darkside Anakin and a rooted Terminator 2 T800. Because here's the thing, like, I already have the rooted in art Joker, so I am getting the Hot Toys one, but that could be removed from the universe and I'd be fine. The Luke Skywalker, as cool as it is, if it was never announced, I wouldn't be like fiending for a Dark Empire Luke announcement. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm disrespecting Jack Sparrow with this because I'm really excited for that one. The Wanda, another one, really cool. I'm excited for it, but I could do without it. Anakin, Dark Side Anakin versus Light Side Anakin. Dark Side Anakin, currently in my collection, is my #1 figure and always will be. It has that presence. When I see it, when I'm looking at the shelf it's on, I'm always drawn to it. So to see like a rooted version, and that scene too, like, that scene is my favorite scene, like the Mustafar scene and everything. Yeah. So I'd have to go bottom, and then a rooted Christopher Reeve, which, InArt's working on. I hope they're really working on it, because what we saw, previously was very early. So, yeah, dude, I think the Dark Side Anakin and the T800 alone swayed me towards that. And then it's funny, you did a lot of research with this, man. Yeah, the current dream of the Marvel 80 new Avengers 1 figures. So
yeah, man,
Artisan Black Widow from the first Avengers film would be incredible, absolutely incredible.
If they did a Thor as well,
Thor, and you guys know, like, a lot of the Black Widow figures, the older ones, that rooted hair looks terrible. So if they went back through new head sculpts, rooted hair, like the artisan treatment, it would be incredible. And then, come on now, Winter Soldier. Who doesn't want a new Winter Soldier? Everybody in the chat I know is like, yeah, we want the Winter Soldier. Yeah, come on now. Everybody wants a new Winter Soldier. They could certainly do that nylon on his vest and everything. They could do the nylon, the rooted hair. That's one, Gio was talking about waiting on some figures. I've been waiting on this one because, the original is just plagued with issues, and you really have to, like, buy aftermarket stuff to make it good again. I'm hoping that Hot Toys is, like, seeing this one as a potential artisan, because it's perfect, right? The perfect candidate. So,
yeah.
Got to go bottom. I know it was a long-winded answer, but I felt like I was betraying Anakin and especially Anakin and Jack Sparrow, but I have to go bottom.
Very nice. Very well detailed answer. I love that. Chris, would you go top or bottom?
I'm probably on board with Connor in saying bottom, only because there's 4 out of the 5 that I'd want. I don't really care for the Winter Soldier, but I do welcome. I don't have a Black Widow in the collection yet. I'm kind of holding out hopes that they will either do an artisan or at least revisit her, like, because those 1.0, those Avengers, the original ones, they're kind of outdated, and I've started collecting more of those out of that line than anything. So I really want them to revisit like Thor and her especially. Terminator T800. That's just my bread and butter right there. Grew up there.
Yeah.
Torment my brother. I met Robert Patrick. I just absolutely love the film. It's a classic, endless. Anakin, all-time favorite Star Wars character. To have the dark side version, that'd just be sick. I'm very tempted to pick up what's on the market right now, but I'm kind of holding out that hope. So maybe by the end of the year or next year, we'll see. Anniversary time. Superman, just favorite superhero of all time. So up at the top, I could do without the Joker.
Sure.
Like Connor said about Jack, I don't have him at this point. I picked him up. I wouldn't be sad if I didn't have him, but yeah.
Would it bother you to have a dark side Anakin and not a light side?
It would not. So originally, like when Sideshow was making figures, I had the light side one and wanted the dark side one. Like always had a hunger for it, never got it. And then same happened with Hot Toys. I got the light side and never the dark. And I just have that drive to constantly have the dark side. So why I haven't picked it up, I don't know, because I kind of want it more than I do light side. Yeah. I just think that the seeing him turning into Vader and the Sith, that appeals to me much more than his light side. Just having that
I
much
love
more
that scene.
power.
Love that. I hate you. I can't do it. Don't.
I hate you.
Yeah. Geo, my friend, we have two people that are going for the bottom. Are you gonna go top, or are you gonna join the dark side here?
Well, I'm looking at the bottom, right? So I'm looking at the bottom, and to be honest, if they were to announce artisan versions of just all the bottom characters there, I think the only two that I would get is Darkseid Anakin and the T800. The other three, I don't think I would even pick up. The top, I have three of those on pre-order: Joker, Anakin, and Luke. And I think just on that, I think I would probably pick top. And Joker and Anakin, Darth Vader are in my top three all-time favorite characters of all time. So yeah, I would go top for this.
Interesting. Well, I am going to go ahead and say that I will go with top as well, although this is way harder than it should be because that T800 would be sick to have. I do like that Darkseid and Black Widow as well. But like I said, I am a sucker when it comes to Scarlet Witch. I love Jack Sparrow. I do wish it was from the first movie, The Curse of the Black Pearl, but it's fine. It's still Jack Sparrow. And we still get an Artisan Anakin here. So I'm good with the top row. Either way, it is amazing. But we got a lot of people in the chat are saying bottom as well. So I think Hot Toys and Collecting Madness, I think you guys win, even though there's not really any winners. But yeah, bottom here.
That's all right. The top is reality. that's all
yeah,
that matters.
that's true. That's true.
We're in Dream World over here on the bottom.
And the kicker is I bought yet my third light side Anakin, like whether it's Sideshow or Hot Toys, and I still have yet to see Dark Side. So
yeah.
I'm the loser.
Can I say top and bottom? Can we change the segment? Top and bottom.
Top and bottom.
I like it both ways.
Yes, let's go.
And then I don't have a Wanda at all or a Scarlet Witch. I don't have any of them at all. But if I were to get one, that would be the Artisan one that I would like to get.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's another factor in there.
Yeah, the sculpted version of this one looks really good too, though. So if you weren't able to get Artisan, I think that's the way to go. Now, real quick before we move on to the next top or bottom, if you guys were to have to guess if any of these bottom figures would come into existence, only one of them, which one do you guys think it would be?
I'm going to say
I'm
probably the
gonna say Black Widow.
Darkseid Anakin, Black Widow, Geo.
Did you say just in general or next?
Just in general. If any of these,
Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Darkseid as well, but Black Widow would be my second. because I do
Yeah.
think that they will go with that old school Avengers look for a lot of those figures.
Sadly,
I
the
think
least
they could
likely I
do-
think is the T800.
I do too,
I think
man.
because they just did an Artisan Anakin, I don't see another one just popping up for people to grab. It might be sculpted that they come with. They have yet. Well, I guess Scarlet was their female, but they haven't done many female. So, and
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean,
when
out of
they
that, you got DC, 2 Star Wars, random one from different IP, and then I
I think
guess
she's very
Marvel.
possible.
So you need another Marvel in there, I guess, or another DC.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think they need to get another Marvel in there or a DC, like you said. But part of me is like, I feel like they're going to release this Attack the Clones Anakin very soon, because we have a lot of Anakins out there already, and I do feel that this dark side is a possibility sooner than we think, to be announced at least. And I don't know, this year, next year, maybe an announcement for Artisan line. The only reason I feel that way is because I do have dark side, and I know I'm gonna get screwed with that, and like, now I gotta get the Artisan version, and here we go. But what's weird is that the only figure on top that has been announced for Artisan that does not have a sculpted version is Anakin, and it
Yep.
bothers me, because not only did I miss out on the Artisan version, there's no other SKU to be able to get with that figure, and it
yeah,
saddens me.
Yeah.
when they first announced the 1.0 light side Anakin and then the dark side, didn't they do that like within a year or so?
yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking. Like maybe they're gonna do the same thing with the Artisan, that just the announce, the one in
Sure.
the Artisan Anakin in August, and maybe they'll wait like another year, maybe the same pattern. That's kind of what I was thinking.
But originally, wasn't Darkside Anakin like an exclusive, and people
He
were
was
upset about it?
He was a convention exclusive at San
Yeah.
Diego Comic-Con, and then they released him through Sideshow and everybody else for a general release. Yeah,
Was that
And he sat
2017?
for a while, 2018.
2018.
2018.
He sat for
Yeah.
a while too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
that's the fabled
And,
tale of
and
Darkside Anakin.
I had
yeah.
the chance to buy them. Went on this site. My brother showed me. Oh, they're doing this. This company, Hot Toys, whatever. You should start buying. And I was like, $250 for a figure, bro?
For
I
a
was like,
toy?
get out of here.
Right.
Then next thing you know, I'm in this hobby, and now it's my
No,
biggest.
it's like 400 plus for figures.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. Toys are expensive. Between Hot Toys, Lego, whatever else these days, they're going up in price.
Lego's even more expensive, right?
Yeah, for sure. How you figure I need that 2012 Avengers Black Widow Artisan? Cross my fingers, because that would be really cool. 2012 Avengers 2.0 line is what I need in my life.
Yeah, my Hulk needs to love somebody.
Yeah, right. X-Men Supreme, I have Artisan and Sculpted Wanda on order. Nice, dude. It's also saying, well, NR is supposedly making Reeves, so I'm not even worried about the bottom. Okay. Brandon saying, question. Does Artisan require rooted hair? What else makes something Artisan? As of now, it feels that way, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
as of right
That's
now.
like their new DX kind of line.
Well, interestingly enough, too, Luke is not a DX.
It doesn't say DX Artisan.
I didn't know that. Someone pointed out on the stream yesterday. Luke is not a DX.
Oh,
He's a CMS figure. So that tells
Oh,
me
yeah,
that
Sean said
Artisan. Yeah, maybe it was Sean. Yeah. Artisan is not tied to the DX line, which is very interesting, because I was under the impression, just based on what they've been doing with the DX line, that maybe DX Artisan, DX, blah, 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 those would kind of go hand in hand. But
Bro.
this is a CMS figure. So I'm like, that's crazy. So that makes like the Black Widow even more possible as like a, MMS. I don't know. Will they do an MMS Artisan figure? I don't know. It's very
I
interesting.
literally can't. I can't keep up with that. Nobody even knew when DX was DX, what it even meant. Then
right.
totally changed from that. Like,
I'm wondering if they did the CMS just to keep it under that comic book licensing. I don't know. Maybe it was a little cheaper that way. Who knows? But yeah, it's hard to keep up with now. All these different ways that they're stretching out this line. But yeah, as of right now, all of the DX Artisan figures, rooted hair is like their shining feature essentially. So
Yeah. Isn't he more expensive than Anakin, or wasn't he?
yeah, he's 430, 420,
Yeah, it's
430.
expensive.
Yeah, Anakin was 415, I think 410.
Oh, yeah.
The Joker's the most expensive one so far, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, I
expensive.
think
Was
that one was 430.
Yeah, for what reason? I don't know. Why was he so expensive? I don't know.
No, I think
I
Joker
was
was
happy
like
with Jack's price.
480, 530 or something like that.
I think
He was
Jack has been the
expensive.
fairest one yet for what he comes with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he is.
Especially like the collector edition with that. It still has
Yeah, because part of it's still
wheelbase.
rooted, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it still has the wool rooted hair. So
Yeah, that's nice. All right, let's move on to the next top or bottom for. Let's see if I can get to it. Darn it. All right. Here we go. Now, this might be a little confusing at first, too. So it was really hard for me. I wanted to do like an all-out Star Wars one, okay? But I was like, we're talking a lot about Star Wars already. So I went ahead and went on Collecting Madness's unboxing and reviews. His latest ones, and I'm like, okay.
Bro, you just killed me right here, bro.
If you could have only 5 of these 10 figures out of all of your unboxings, and I figured you like these figures because you did a review on them, right? So if you could only pick top or bottom, what would you pick and why?
I'm first. I don't even get a thought. All right. Based on what I look at every day in the collection, what I would want to keep if I could. I can't have the top, correct? I'd probably
If you choose
pick
the bottom, you can't have the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely going bottom because at one point Carnage was like my figure of the year. That figure is just absolutely beautiful, and he's a massive piece. So I'm constantly staring at him. Padme, that's mommy Padme. Can't go without. That one's a work of art as well. Vader, just that half sculpt. Again, favorite character, Anakin. You're tying to seeing Hayden actually in the suit. That's GOAT right there. So gotta have him. Electro, I wish, honestly, that's the one I wish I could probably swap out for like a Doc, but I would take Electro. They nailed that Jamie Foxx head sculpt, and he was super funny. He was funny in the film. I watched it the other day. A lot of people aren't
I thought Spider-Man was black.
yeah. A lot of people aren't a fan of like those electric pieces, but I like the yellow, and I like his suit. It's tailored nicely, so I would definitely keep him. And then Chrome Mando, I just love all the accessories that it comes with, and Mando in general is just like a boss when it comes to dueling, like Western style. And then you got little Grogu, so I kind of get a bonus figure up in there. So yeah, I'm picking bottom.
All right. It's a good choice. Good choice. Gio, picking top or bottom for this one if you could have these figures.
Top.
Top?
Yeah.
Is there a specific figure? Go ahead.
Well, there's 2 on the top list there that I would dopo. Count Dooku and Palpatine. I don't have Palpatine at all. So he's on my list, and I want one from. I mean, I know there's that Clone Wars one that they announced last year, but I want one from the films, whichever one they make, Return of the Jedi, whatever. Or actually, ideally, I would like the Revenge of the Sith Palpatine if they ever announced that. But yeah, so Count Dooku, Palpatine. I wouldn't mind having Hulk. I don't really collect Marvel right now. I just only have one pre-order. That's the Spider-Man Red and Blue. Wouldn't mind having the Hulk. Doc Ock, I would like. I just don't really like the head sculpt that much. And then I'm fine with having Marty McFly, right? That's from Back to the Future.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right there, Marty McFly. So I wouldn't mind having him either. At the bottom ones, when it comes to Padme, I would like Queen Amidala. That's what I'm hoping for this year, ideally. But I didn't pre-order her for that reason, and I don't have a Mando. But it's not really one that I would like want to rush and get right now. And then the one that I debated with the most was this Darth Vader from Obi-Wan the series, and I kind of debated with myself if I should get that one or the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, and I ultimately chose the Return of the Jedi one because it is OT. And then Carnage, everyone's destroying Carnage, so I'm fine with that. And then of course we have Electro, which I would have to get all the other ones, all the other characters, right, for the line. And Electro isn't one of my favorite characters anyway, so that's why I kind of stuck to top. So that would be my choice there.
Okay, good answers. So we have one top, one bottom. Connor, you want top or bottom?
This one's surprisingly easy for me.
Okay.
So at one point, I did sell one of the figures in this top list. I had all of those figures in the top. I did sell the Hawk not long ago because someone really wanted it from me and they paid me a ton of money. So I was like, whatever, get rid of it. But just for Dooku, Marty McFly, you guys know I'm a big Back to the Future fan. I've got the Part 1, 2, and 3 figures. I've got the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean. I'm real into Back to the Future, so Marty McFly gets a lot of points from me. And then also, I know this is going to sound crazy because Anakin/Vader is like my favorite character ever, but I'm picking Return of the Jedi Palpatine over Kenobi Vader. Just me personally. Wow. It's a much more iconic character. It really is. Excuse me. Let me correct that. A much more iconic iteration of the character. The Kenobi Vader versus the Return of the Jedi Palpatine. And then the Doc Ock. I enjoy owning the figure. I agree the head sculpt's not 100% there, but still, to have Doc Ock with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is really special to me. That Hulk is an incredible figure for how old it is. Like I said, I only sold it because someone wanted it for. They wanted to give me so much money for it. I was like, might as well get rid of it. And the Dooku is incredible. Everybody right now is wishing for another Dooku. I don't think that one needs a 2.0, just because that sculpt is so good and like the tailoring and everything is so good. It's a fantastic figure. Electro, as much as I like that figure, could do without it. The Carnage is on my list to get, but I don't have it. I love that Mando. I think that's the season 2 version. But I don't need 2 Mandos. I have my other Mando, so even though I have that in my collection, I could ditch that one. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Padme, I'm sorry to do it to my sweetheart Natalie Portman, but yeah, overall, I just think the top list just appeals to me as a complete list more.
Sure. I 100% can agree with all three of you for all of your points there. I have to go with bottom though, just because of Carnage. Kenobi Vader is pretty sick. I don't have the Kenobi Vader. I have the Rogue One Vader, and then I have the oh my goodness, Return of the Jedi Vader coming. So I didn't want to have like 1,000 Vaders, and even though would be okay, but with everything coming out, I didn't want to have to get both of them. But I actually really like this Electro. I think I love the tailoring, like Chris was saying. I like the head sculpt a lot. Amazing Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man. Maybe not the movies in general, but like Andrew Garfield is the GOAT. I love Andrew Garfield. Yeah, baby, we back on the same team. Let's go. Tobey Maguire is up there. I love all of them, man. I love all Spider-Mans. Yeah, and then you got Padme, where the new Anakin is coming out soon, and of course a Mando, which I don't have a Mando, guys. I need a Mando, and this is the one I want. So, I do want a Hulk, and I do want a Palpatine, and a Dooku, but Marty McFly would be cool too. I mean, they're all great figures on this list here, but gotta go mainly because of Carnage. That figure is amazing. So, and being a huge Spider-Man fan, I gotta go with Carnage. So, all right, let's check in with the chat. We got Yomo saying bottom. X-Man Supreme saying oh or ooh. I'm choosing bottom, and I'm burning that Carnage. Why are you burning Carnage? The Thrawn's office. The Joker is ridiculous. I was a collector edition, $90 more than the collector edition of this Luke. Yeah, that's crazy. Brian Wong, what is up, Mr. Maji Space? Thank you for for joining in with the chat and joining the Brickyard. I highly appreciate that. Thank you so much for being such a huge supporter, guys. I actually did a life Lego build, not only with Chris, but also with Brian here. It was actually very interesting to do a live stream with Brian. You know, he always listens to us, like our collecting journeys. It was really cool to listen to the guy that makes our collection look so cool. And kind of talk about his journey in collecting, you know, what got him to start making Maji Space and all that. So thank you, sir, for being a part of the Brickyard. Yo, Brick and Panel. All right, so thank you for that, guys. Whew, it's been a long show. Are you guys ready to do some Star Wars ranking? You guys got time for that?
Let's do it.
Yep. We'll make it quick. We'll make it fun and quick. I actually made it to where it will be fast because I just have it on a tier listing here, like we do see on a lot of other stuff. So let me pull this up real quick. No, not that button. Wrong button. Okay. Let's see. All right. So here you guys see. Now, I did not create this tier list. This was already created for me. I went on one that was already created. We're not going to be ranking the Star Wars movies with the animated shows and all of that, or even like the Disney Plus live action TV shows. Mm-hmm. We are just doing the movies here. We have 11 movies, I believe. 3, 6, 9. Yep, 11 movies. We included Solo and Rogue One. Now, I know we are all going to be a little different on this, okay? Obviously, S means it was like perfection of a movie. A is just an amazing movie with, you know, just not perfect. B is solid. You know, C is kind of getting into that crap range, and D is like, no thank you. So, guys, you guys want to just start with like Phantom Menace and kind of work our way down? Do you guys want to get
go in order?
Go in order. Are these in order? Hold on. We got, yeah, they're pretty much in order, right? Are the last 3 in order? I can't really tell with the covers.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure they're all in Solo and Rogue One. Yeah, that looks right.
It looks like they're all in order of how they came out.
All right. Sweet. So let's start with Phantom Menace, you guys. I'm going to let any one of you guys start.
I know where I would put it. Yeah, I would say A.
Oh, wow. You guys are very nice. I feel like my whole life I have defended this movie. Like everything I got. Like,
I love the Phantom, and we just saw it recently. Chris and I saw it in theaters, and it just, you know, made you love it even more. You know, seeing it on the big screen again. So
yeah,
it was like the first time you got to see some better choreography than what you got with the original trilogy. Like it opened a whole new world to lightsaber fighting.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I absolutely love Phantom Menace. I don't remember who I was talking to, but you know, favorite and best are 2 different things in my opinion. Phantom Menace is my favorite Star Wars movie. The best Star Wars movie is another one that we'll talk about later, but Phantom Menace, I just had so much fun with it. It was you know, it wasn't the first Star Wars movie I saw in theater, because I believe A New Hope was when they, during the anniversary, and they brought all the movies back in theater and all that. I saw A New Hope, but it was definitely the first Star Wars movie that made me fall in love with Star Wars as a kid, and just had a lot of fun with Star Wars. You know, Jar Jar Binks, great for kids. Great growing up with Jar Jar. He got a little weird in Attack of the Clones, but I loved him in Phantom Menace. I loved young Anakin. I love that story between him and Padme. You've got Qui-Gon Jinn. You got Obi-Wan coming back, making his first appearance since, you know, dying in A New Hope so quickly. And of course, you got Darth Maul, pod racing. There's just a lot of fun in this movie. Gio, what do you think this belongs?
B.
B?
B like boy.
Okay. Be like boy. Be like
yeah.
boy.
I mean, I appreciate them a lot more now. I'm thinking about when I first saw The Phantom Menace 25 years ago. That's what I'm going based on. And I remember being disappointed. Of course, I love the Duel of Fates scene. And there's a lot of components in all the Star Wars movies that are good. But I'll stick to that, but I do like it more than I did 25 years ago. But I'll say B.
Okay. Some would say this is the best lightsaber duel. I would say it's
I
top
would
2.
say that.
I would
Fun
say it's
fact.
top 2.
Qui-Gon Jinn was the first Jedi I ever dressed up as a kid.
You have
Say
the
that
hair
one more
and
time.
everything, you have a wig.
Oh yeah.
I said fun fact. The first Jedi I ever dressed up
Okay.
as was
Okay.
Qui-Gon Jinn as a kid.
I didn't hear the first part. That's why I was like, what?
Um,
So you guys would say A, Gio would say B. I'm gonna say A as well. As much as I want to make it S, I know as a film goes, it's more A because it does have its flaws.
Yeah.
As much as I love this movie, I'm gonna go with A. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen this movie on A. So
Yeah.
I appreciate having a panel that can agree with me that this movie is amazing. So nice. Let's move on to Attack of the Clones.
hey,
B.
B, A, Geo,
C.
C. There are really good moments in this movie. I do feel like there's a lot of love story that's very cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It kind of drags on. When you see the follow-up movie, it makes more sense as to why they did that for this movie. But the problem too that bothers me is it's just I like the movie, but it wasn't just because it was a love story, but it was like the acting. It was the over dramatic, like, kind of scenes. But I would say a B or a C. What were you guys saying again?
I said B. Chris said A.
Yeah.
I said C.
A. So we'll make it a B.
yeah, I said A because I think there's a lot of moments in there that are a first, but tie into later, like the original trilogy. I mean, we get to see the mother and father, like how they came together. We get to see Padme in action doing something. This huge Jedi lightsaber battle. We see Master Yoda, what he can do, bringing out his lightsaber for the first time. There's bits and pieces of like reference to the original trilogy with Dooku bringing out the Death Star plans. Like, there's just a lot of things in that film that I love. And also, I know you touched on the romantic stuff. Personally, I like those kind of movies, so maybe that's why I like it. But,
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and seeing it in the movie for the first time, I remember I was completely blown away.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments. I love when Anakin gets that revenge there. And you kind of
I
see
was just
him.
gonna say that's another point. Him turning towards the dark side.
You start seeing
it
that.
starts that path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Glimpses.
I would say when I first go ahead, Gio.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, when I first saw this, I'm kind of like Gio with Phantom Menace, but for this movie, when I first saw it, I was like, this is like a C or a D. This movie, I was younger, I wanted there was action in it, but I wanted like a no kidding. Yeah, but as I'm older, and I love movies like you were saying, like Titanic and The Notebook, and I can just rom-coms, like I love those movies, little tear jerkers there. So it gets me to appreciate this film a little bit more, but I do have some issues. That's all. But yeah, B tier seems right. What do you guys think? B?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll stick to C. But what I was gonna say is, I remember that Yoda scene in the theater, and everyone went nuts.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That was a good
It
experience.
was talked about for weeks.
Yes, and it was. I would say that's the best part of the movie. I'm sure a lot of people probably don't agree with that, but I thought that was so cool. But the other thing I was going to say is that I also kind of appreciate the politics in Attack of the Clones as an adult. I have a poli-sci background, so I kind of like enjoyed it more. But again, I'll stick to C.
How you figure I did not say it was a rom-com. I said Titanic and The Notebook and rom-coms, okay? But it is kind of funny at some parts, I will say.
Titanic. Love
Titanic.
that.
Good, great movie. One of my favorite movies.
It's
top 10,
actually
for
my
sure.
favorite movie.
Nice, dude. It's
Alright.
so good. So good. So Thrawn's office, real quick before we go on to the next film. Anybody remember first seeing the trailer for episode 1 when the Gungan, is it Gungans? Am I saying that right? My goodness.
Yeah,
I'm
Gungans.
sleepy
Yeah.
or something. Are riding slowly through the fog. Oh, I remember the scene. And you were like,
Mhm.
holy shit, who are those badasses? And then you saw it.
Right.
And we're like,
yeah.
oh.
You're like,
Yeah.
psych.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha, punk.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Excuse me. So, all right.
But
So
that's like
we have wow.
We were talking on Connor's, like when people saw Darth Maul, like everybody starting to dress like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth Maul was huge. He still is, but yeah, the introduction of Darth Maul and all the merchandising and everything they did was huge.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you were talking about like cups and stuff, and like I remember
Yeah.
all that. I remember too, like those toys came out that you could pull out the lightsabers, and you know.
I used to have one. You attach the lightsaber to the figure.
Yes.
Too. I had a
Yeah, and
Qui-Gon Jinn one. And
They had
stuff.
the Comtech figures. I don't know if you remember those. They
I
had
had
the little
those too.
voice
That
chip.
big.
Is that the voice
compact
chip,
thing.
dude?
Yeah.
I had a young Annie and a couple other figures.
I still have
but
my original Darth Maul and my Obi-Wan that I had as a kid.
I had
on my,
I had a
on my
Darth
shelf.
Maul. Yeah, I don't know where mine
Yeah.
went.
I don't have the lightsabers for them, of course. Those are long gone, but I have the
Oh.
figures. They're cheap. They're really cheap still.
Yeah, you
but
can find them for like $6-8, right?
Yeah, they're
like
cheap.
Yeah, very cool.
I was collecting
Okay, guys.
I was collecting the soda cans of episode 1.
Those are
Those are
dope.
characters.
cool.
Do you remember the droid carrier that they did that could hold the Pepsi cans? That is
The
the
soda.
coolest.
Yep.
It's so
I still
cool.
see that. Around.
It slides out, and you know how the droids were dropped out of the pods. All of the
Oh.
Pepsi cans are like in. It's the coolest thing ever.
Man, yeah, I remember I had a cousin who collected all those cans and had like the tower going up.
Oh,
And I'd play his Sega not his Sega Saturn, but his Dreamcast, and while looking at these massive tower of Pepsi cans and all that. So yeah, really, really cool memories. Revenge of the Sith, guys.
S.
S.
That's S for me.
S. That's S.
Geo?
You know, fans are butts.
S.
Brick,
Yes,
don't
it
say
is.
something. Don't say something.
I'm not saying shit.
You just see it on your face. You're like, whoa.
No, I was trying to think if there was anything to keep it from an S, and there really isn't. I mean, it's perfection to me.
Dude,
The more I see this movie, the more I
2005
love it.
Was the year like start the toy line, the trailers, dude? It was just like the ending of the original saga, tying it back. There was so much hype filled around this. I watched the trailer tons. I played the video game before the movie came out. I read the books before the movie came out. Like everything Revenge of the Sith, I was super into. And
Yeah.
yep, Anakin turning towards the dark side, the temple scene,
Dude.
of course, the Battle of
Mustafar,
Heroes. I mean, that fight alone is just.
Yeah.
I still don't think anything that has come out recently with Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith has topped that duel. It's just
100%.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
my
anything
favorite fight
before
scene.
that. Same. I love Duel of the Fates. I love the music behind. It's the best score
The
other
emotion,
than maybe
yeah,
the
and, like,
Imperial March, but
That's
the emotion.
That's the story I wanted to see after I finished watching the original trilogy. So that was the movie I wanted to see.
Yeah, to see it all
That.
play out. Yeah. it's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
putting
such a-
Darth Vader in the suit. Like, come on.
Yeah, that noise.
Yeah.
Pressurizes. Dude,
just
it's-
the no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When he
yeah.
breaks
I
out of
love
the
that.
the metal shackles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just.
So good. Such a great film. I love watching, especially that second half. Order 66 and just everything.
Even like
So,
Padme, like finding out about what Anakin's been doing and stuff, and her reaction to it, and it's just
yeah.
there's so much.
Seeing Sidious
Breaking my
fight
heart.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they
red
confronted him,
lightsaber
and he just
used by him.
pieced him up like it was nothing.
Although I
Yeah,
do
I-
like it from beginning to end, though.
Oh, yeah,
It's,
absolutely.
From beginning to end.
yeah,
It's like one of the
absolutely.
few. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars movies that are obviously they're good, or most of them are good, but from beginning to end, I would say that's one of the couple that I like the
Yeah.
most, like that.
So it's interesting. We have one from the prequel trilogy. We have one S tier, one A tier, and one B tier. Moving on to the Solo movie. You guys fans of this one?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
C.
Okay.
It
I'm
was originally a
different.
D for me when I first saw it, and then I rewatched it not long ago, and I'm like, there's some parts that were fun, you know. And I really liked
Yeah.
Donald Glover as Lando. I thought he did a
I
great
did
job.
too.
And it's not that Alden Ehrenreich was a bad Han Solo. It's just, you know, there was some cringe acting and
Yeah.
stuff in some parts just because of the script. But it's a C for me. I don't hate the film, and I would rewatch it, but it's a C.
Okay.
I'm leaning more towards a B. I really
Ooh.
enjoyed watching it.
Okay.
Seeing the backstory, you see a different Falcon, what it was. You see the Kessel Run too, and what it was before it had the missing piece in the front of it or whatever.
Sure.
There's cool aspects for sure. Oh, and obviously Chewie and Han coming together.
Yeah, that's special. Gio?
It's going to be a D for me.
Ooh.
I didn't like Solo. It's when I was collecting you know, physical media, you know, physical 4Ks, Blu-rays, stuff like that. That's the only one that I did not buy. And then I was working at an office. My manager, he's a big Star Wars fan. Actually, his name is also Giovanni, which is kind of weird. So he was my manager. He's a big Star Wars fan. It was during that time that I was working with him, and we both watched Solo, not together, but we watched Solo. He liked it. I did not. And when I left, when I was gonna leave the office because I got another job and was gonna leave there, as a parting gift, he gave me the 4K of Solo, a Star Wars story, and I just didn't like. I didn't like this movie. I tried to. I did rewatch it, and I still didn't like it. So yeah, that's a D for me.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I get that. I am probably gonna put it as a C myself. So 1B, 2 C's, and a D. We'll keep it at C here. It had its moments. It was fun. It was cheesy, and you know they could have gotten some different actors for certain people. But yeah, I mean it was fun. I love the ending as well.
Yeah, Maul.
I mean, I guess I can talk spoilers, but I'm not going to do that.
I just did.
I like the lead. I like the actor playing.
I may,
Han.
Love
I
it.
may just
love it.
like it because Amelia Clark as well. So
Yeah, we never got to figure.
I was
her out.
gonna bring her up
Miniature.
too. I'm a huge fan of her.
Kira, yeah, character's Kira.
Yeah.
yeah, Kira.
Yeah.
And then you see Maul ignite his
Yeah,
lightsaber.
she's a. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I'll put it as a C. Rogue One, everybody.
S.
This was this was a huge surprise for me. I was not expecting such a good movie during these sequels coming out that we were going to get something like Rogue One. So we have one S. Anybody else think it's an S?
I'll do S as well. I was in between A and S, and then when I thought about Vader's whole scene, that kind of put it.
Dude,
Man.
there's so much that makes it like top tier Star Wars.
Him choking Krennic, like the rise of the rebellion. Like
all of the
there's a
main
lot of
characters had a great arc. You know, they all, you know, the final resolution was sad for once. You know, we didn't see like, oh, the rebels got away again. You know,
Yeah, they all.
you know, it's like you know they were successful in getting the Death Star plans where they need to get them, but at what cost? You know,
It gave us what we always wanted to know from A New Hope. Why the game
right, and what was the cost? That's the first time we see on the big screen like the true cost of being a rebel and what it means to be a rebel and what it took to get where they were in A New Hope and like. Yeah, dude, and you rewatch the film and it makes you sad every single time. That final scene on the sunset with Jin and Cassian, just
it's
fantastic.
Yes.
really.
Got no Andor figure.
Right? Andor and man. Yeah,
So
like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. Gio, what do you think?
I'm gonna put Rogue One A. I'll put an A. I think
Okay.
it's a great movie. It's a great movie. But I can't quite put it there at the S level yet. But it's great. It's you know, it actually feels like a organic war movie. You know, not just Star Wars, but like if it were an actual like epic war movie, like all the other ones that we've seen. You know, and then of course we finally get to learn these details as to why the Death Star had this a flaw, right? Because it's kind of weird that it was built that way, and then we learn about it in this movie. And then of course we have Donnie Yen, and then it's just a great movie. I just can't quite put it there because I wasn't a big fan of Whitaker, Forrest Whitaker in the movie. That's one negative thing there, and I think it was kind of a bit slow at the beginning of it. But overall, it's a very good movie. So I'll stick to A with that one.
Okay. I've got to go with an S tier. Sorry, Gio. I do have to go S. I mean, the way it just goes directly into A New Hope after that Darth Vader scene, and how that all kind of plays out, and that's how A New Hope starts with Vader walking it. It's just absolutely love that, and I've got to and just how it had a different vibe. It wasn't like cute and funny. It wasn't. It was dark, and it was real. It was like real life. Like if Star Wars existed, this is what it would feel like. It's scary,
right?
It's
Donnie
saddening,
Yen
and
too.
yeah. So I got to go with S. I love this movie, and yeah, definitely. Let's go to A New Hope, gentlemen.
S. You're gonna get an S from me on the whole trilogy, bro. Come on now.
It's
The
I'm
whole
just gonna
trilogy.
spoil my answers.
it's a C for me.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. A New Hope
wow.
is the most boring film to me.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I like the characters. Obviously, it's
All right.
Star Wars.
It was
It's
nice
the
having you
original.
on, dude.
Like, but
Oh,
dude,
man.
it's
So anyways,
Just kicked him out.
oh, bro.
Oh, wow.
no, so a C. Okay. Gio,
Dude,
what do you think?
You can't. I'm so bored in the trench run. I can't.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give A New Hope an A, and it's kind of what collecting Amanda's is talking about here. Okay, so I did rewatch A New Hope not too long ago, and of course it's a great classic movie, right? That's what started everything. We love this franchise because of this movie. Now when you rewatch it, it's because they're just introducing all these elements, these things that a lot of us already know. It kind of feels kind of slow, because it's like we already know this stuff because we've seen like 9 movies at this point, right? So that's what I would say, that it's kind of slow now watching it. And that's the only reason why I won't give it an S tier. But I recognize that this is what started everything, and
Okay.
it's a classic. I love it. It's still the OG Star Wars movie.
I changed my grade to a B. I went too
No,
low.
no,
C's too
don't.
mean. No, because now that I'm thinking about it, there have been other ones.
You seemed
I
pretty
was
sure before you
teetering
got
B
kicked
and
out.
No,
C
yeah,
and
you
C
were-
out,
you
but
were
I'm
like
going-
this.
You were
I'm
sticking with
going
your
B.
answer.
B is my final answer.
More like a B minus. I'll give you a B minus.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Well, damn, Chris gave, or Brick gave Chris the boot. Connor, you said S, right?
S, man. I mean, it's like Gio said, it's the film that started it all. For me, just the memories when I watch these films, because I actually grew up watching the original trilogy first, because I inherited a bunch of my uncle, his stuff. He's about 20 years older than me. I inherited a bunch of his stuff when I was a kid. So I had his old VHSs of the original trilogy and stuff. And A New Hope, you know, I got to give it an S. It's the feeling that I get while watching it. You know, when you think of Star Wars, there's a couple moments in your head where you're like, you know, that's the quintessential moment in my head that reminds me of Star Wars. And the Binary Sunset with that song playing, with the Binary Sunset theme playing in the background, like that's what reminds me of Star Wars. And I just, you know, the saving Princess Leia and just everything about it I love. And A New Hope, to me, if I had to pick one film that just, you know, to show somebody and say, like, this is Star Wars, this is just like the rawest form of Star Wars is. And I actually still have that. That's the exact VHS set I'm talking about, Gio. And I don't have it sealed or anything, but I do still have my uncle's set in my collection. And
That's awesome.
yeah, man, it's such a special film to me. Oh, dude, it's so good. The
Look, I
classic
got
artwork
the New
is
Hope
so
lamp,
good.
all right?
That's
Alright,
awesome, guys.
The classic artwork is unbeatable, man. It's just so
yeah.
good.
That B- lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he said C. We're not even giving him
He
the
did
B
say
minus.
C.
He's not
He did-
changing his
yeah.
answer. Oh,
It
dude,
just
like,
came out. I was hyped, but you know.
he put it with Solo, dude. Let's just remember.
I,
that.
I had to
uh,
think
Solo.
about it, and I was like,
I am
oh.
gonna give A New Hope a B.
Yes.
Now, okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Mm-mm.
I love this trilogy. Trilogy as a whole, I'm with you. Is an S tier. How is that if I give this movie a B? Well,
I was gonna say that doesn't
it's
really
just-
translate.
okay, A plus tier, I guess. But I had a lot of issues with this movie, and I can't say that I enjoyed this movie as much as Phantom Menace. Now, like I said, this is the first Star Wars movie that I saw. I was bored out of my mind as a kid. Obviously, when you get a little older and you can sit down to watch a true sci-fi classic, right? It means a lot more. I just found Luke Skywalker, in my opinion, being very annoying in this film, very whiny. And it kind of pushed me away a little bit. I love Han. I love Chewie. I love Vader. There's a lot of good scenes in this movie. But as Star Wars goes, and if I'm comparing it to Phantom Menace being A, I got Attack of the Clones at B. I think I like it as much as Attack of the Clones. I'm going to put it there with B.
Yeah.
So,
B.
okay.
It's disrespectful.
So, Connor, you want to be on next week's Bugle 6?
Well, funny
Hell
you
no.
ask. Unless you change your rating. No, I'm just joking.
All right, guys. Empire Strikes Back. The
A.
best.
S.
S.
That's
The
my favorite Star Wars
A?
movie of all time.
This is the best Star Wars movie of all
This
time.
is my favorite Star Wars movie ever, always will
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
S tier.
Gotta go S. Gotta go S. Okay. Yeah, this was what kind of made me like understand why Star Wars was Star Wars. Just there's so much happens in this movie. So much happens, and absolutely love it. This is my favorite from this trilogy. I think it's the best, most made Star Wars film. Like I said, my favorite is Phantom Menace. I know that's a little odd, a little weird, but the best film is Empire Strikes Back. 100%.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so much to like about Empire Strikes Back, and then like I said, I started watching the original trilogy, so you know that scene where Luke finds out that Vader's his father, and he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit it to himself, and we don't really see him admit it until Return of the Jedi. But like I agree with you. It's like you talk about perfect films, and I have a lot of. I don't want to say a lot of perfect films, but I have a decent amount of perfect films in the back of my head, and like the first ones that I could always recall is Empire Strikes Back and Terminator 2 and like the first
Sure.
RoboCop film for me, for my nostalgia kick and the things that I like about it. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back is extremely special to me, and not to get like deep, but I grew up without a father being around in my life, so seeing that relationship between Luke and stuff, it just means a tremendous amount to me as a film, just to see that play out, and I could relate to that as a kid, right? So
Sure.
and that's why Luke Skywalker and Vader as characters to me are like up there, top. So such an amazing film, and it's one that will always have a special place for me. and it's never gonna get dethroned as number one. It's just always even with Revenge of the Sith, as much as I love that, never gonna dethrone Empire Strikes Back.
Awesome. Chris, why an A?
He's like, now I feel like a jerk after what he just said.
Right.
Again, like, I mean, obviously,
Because so
I
far
love-
the original trilogy to you is like a B. It's crazy.
give or take, because you
Yeah.
might be surprised with my next one. But
Oh,
Empire is like a step up from A New Hope. Obviously, like he did better with it. It moves a bit more than A New Hope does. I just still think, like, because Luke is in training, so I'm not seeing the full potential, but I'm getting more, right? And as the story develops, there's more action. I do like the Hoth stuff, and I like him fighting his father for the first time. I do like the dialogue in Vader for that one a lot more. I think there's more quotes from Vader and him force choking a lot of people that comes out of that film than the other ones. Seeing the Emperor as well in hologram form, I believe he was introduced in the fifth one. It weirdly, A New Hope and Empire just didn't stick in my head enough. I like watching them because I love all Star Wars, but it just out of this trilogy of 4, 5, and 6, is just not S tier to me. I couldn't give it perfection.
yeah. I get it. Gio, you said S, right?
Yeah, I said S. It's ironically, when I think of Star Wars, I actually go back to this movie more than actually A New Hope. There's just so many surprises in this, a lot of shocking moments in this movie, especially when you when you're watching the original trilogy, like the way it was released, right? So you don't know about the revelation of Darth Vader saying that he's Luke's father and stuff like that. So when you don't know that, that's a huge thing right there. I like the Hoth scenes. I like the AT-AT walkers. I always think of that too.
Love that.
And Yoda. We introduced Yoda, and there's just a bunch of stuff that's happening in this movie. And then at the end, I mean, the bad guys win. So that's something different from a lot of these adventure movies. And it's like, really, this is how this movie's going to end. Basically, the Empire is winning in this movie. Like, I know the title says The Empire Strikes Back, but I still wouldn't think that they're going to actually fully, succeed in this movie. Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I really like this, and it's still one of my top films of all time, and will remain, just like Connor, the best Star Wars movie. Even though Revenge of the Sith is pretty up there, but I'll still stick to Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, this is such a special film for me. I absolutely, as a film goes, this is how it should be. You know what I mean? Like, this is how films should be made. So, guys, we're gonna go to the next one though. Return of the Jedi.
S
for me, yeah.
Okay, S. Gio?
I'm thinking S. I'll say S. S, yeah.
I am going to go at S as well. Carries on the S tier from Empire Strikes Back, leading into some more good action, great scenes, and character development, which is extremely important to me. You go from Luke and A New Hope being, to me, a whiny young kid, and he grows up to be the Jedi that he is, and I absolutely love that character development. So S tier for everybody. Anybody want to kind of chime in on why?
Chris just cracked his neck. So
Oh, nice.
That's a literal like green's my favorite color, but seeing that lightsaber, oh man, and it's my favorite sound, my favorite activation sound. Um, it's action packed from beginning to end. Not only do we get Hut Slayer Leia that we're calling her now, so that's just a bonus in there. But no, you get the action from Jabba's, that whole scene. Just
Yeah, that was
Luke
great.
finally becoming that Jedi. He's got a totally new outfit, which I think is better than what he wore, especially in A New Hope. I just like his look a lot more in that film. I like Vader also coming full circle, coming to that light, having more of a relationship with Luke. Like now that Luke's come to terms that this is his father, I think the dialogue between those two, they have really great scenes, especially when Luke is captured and he's activating Luke's lightsaber and play. Like there's just a lot of good storytelling in that movie. Seeing Ben Kenobi and Force Ghost again, finding out that Leia's his sister. I mean, there's just a ton in there that really throws this movie over the edge for me. So
yeah. Hot Toys Hotline. Do you have
dude, I
anything you'd
mean,
like to say?
yeah, I mean, there's just Return of the Jedi is another one of them. It's just there's so much to like about it. Seeing Luke come into his own and it's very tense. That throne room scene is very tense, where you're like not sure if Luke's gonna cave or not. And when he tosses that lightsaber hilt, and you hear "So be it, Jedi," that's that's another one of those scenes that, like, when you're thinking about like memorable scenes from Star Wars that just play on repeat in your head when you think about Star Wars, that's one of them. That throne room scene where Vader picks up Palpatine and tosses him into the shaft, and you see Sebastian Shaw's face under the helmet, and you have that touching moment where he becomes Anakin again, and then in the final scene where you see all the Force ghosts. And I know some people feel some type of way about them replacing it with Hayden. I actually like that change.
I
Believe
love
it or
that.
not, I actually like that
Yeah.
change because for continuity, I think it makes more sense. Although Sebastian Shaw will always be the GOAT, but it's for continuity purposes. It's right, I think, to put him in there. But
I think so.
yeah, Return of the Jedi is very special, and also my favorite look for Luke. Chris was talking about the color of the lightsaber. My favorite actual outfit is Luke in the all black with the white triangle folded over. That's my favorite look. Even though Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie, my favorite look for Luke is actually the Return of the Jedi. I like that final scene look.
Yeah, it's a great look. Gio.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of touched on what I was going to say, basically. But yeah, that opening scene, the scene with Jabba, you're trying to get Han back. I mean, that scene is especially when I first saw this movie, and then I saw that giant ass slug doing these things, and so with all these creatures, like dancing and singing and all this other crap, and then we have Han Solo there. I mean, it was a great scene. Obviously, we see Luke Skywalker come in here in that outfit, like you said, Connor, his best. That's why I have that Mando Luke, because obviously I missed that on the Return of the Jedi one. But yeah, it's a great movie. The third act, very tense, like Connor said. The throne room, the Endor scenes, and it's just a lot of stuff is happening in that third act. You go back and forth, and there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of interesting things happening, and overall, it's a great movie. Now, like I said, it's not better than Empire Strikes Back, like I already mentioned, but that's why I would say it's a S tier. So yeah,
Sure. What about The Force Awakens? Who wants to go first in that one?
I'm gonna say B.
Okay.
I'm gonna say B for me.
B-A. Gio?
I'll say B.
Okay. I will go B as well. So 3 B's and an A. Connor, I want to start with you. Why
So-
why an A?
It's a B. It was a B for me. But
Oh, it was a B for you. Who
Yeah,
said
B.
A? I'm sorry.
Chris
Me.
did. Chris said A.
Okay.
So I think Force Awakens is the strongest of the sequel trilogy for sure.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. Is it as good as the prequels? For me, it's right on par with Attack of the Clones, obviously based on my ratings. But I remember I saw it at the National Air and Space Museum with a few of my friends, so we got to see it in the massive IMAX there, and like just seeing like Kylo Ren's lightsaber in that forest scene get ignited and the sound, the crackling and everything. It's just, I love the visuals in that film. I really enjoyed a lot of the setup for a lot of the characters. I think they did a great job at setting up Kylo Ren. You know, that first scene where he freezes the blaster bolt, that's super cool. So they did a great job at introducing all these characters, like the mystery behind Finn and Rey as well. Like there's just a lot of mystery behind all these characters, a lot of unanswered stuff, and I liked that. And they kind of like, in a lot of ways used the blueprint of the original trilogy for this film. A lot of people were like, oh, they're just kind of like remaking what was it, Return of the Jedi? People were comparing it to. I think that's what they were comparing it to.
A New Hope.
A New Hope, sorry, A New Hope.
Yeah.
A lot of people were comparing it to A New Hope, and yeah, it was a fun film. It really was, and obviously, I'll bite my tongue on the other two because I don't want to spoil my answer. But I think it was a great setup for the sequel trilogy, and I left the film thinking that it's off to a great start. So yeah, the Force Awakens gets a B for me.
Yeah. Chris, you said an A.
Yeah. I think I factor in an A because of hype going into it. Since 2005, been a little bit since they continued. So we come to 2015, and I remember seeing the trailers for it. I was hyped for Kylo Ren's, character, and we hadn't seen a lightsaber do what his does. I think that's a really cool factor. But then, just like Connor said, it literally blueprints A New Hope. So the fact that I put A New Hope at a B and like A, I just think The Force Awakens gives like a more modern spin on it. It's more colorful. I think there's a little bit more action in there and suspense than A New Hope. The killing off Han was kind of predictable, but I still welcomed it. Because, we don't like COT characters, but it's one of those big things, like, you don't think they'll do it until they actually do it. I'll leave it at that. I think, like Connor really said it best, that it set it up well. Introducing Daisy Ridley as, like, the female lead. Even John Boyega's character, Finn, like, his character was really, really promising and stuff, and I liked the idea of what it was going to be, like this trio, Poe Dameron and those two. But there's not much more to say. I just really enjoyed the film and walked out happy. Bought Kylo's lightsaber and called it what it is.
Yeah. Gio.
Yeah, so I gave it I think a B? A B. So I think Force Awakens was a very entertaining movie. I remember the trailers for this movie was they didn't reveal much. Like, we didn't know exactly what was going on. Like, we didn't know who Kylo Ren was, or what Rey was doing, or what Finn was doing, really. So I liked that they hid some of that stuff. But yes, there's a lot of story beats that comes from A New Hope. I kind of feel like it's kind of like a soft reboot / sequel in a way, because we have the lead here, Rey, which is like Luke, in a planet that's like Tatooine, Jakku, and then we have at the end we have the Starkiller base, Death Star. Somebody dies, somebody significant dies, Obi-Wan, Han. So there's just a lot of that stuff that's happening in this, but yeah, I liked Kylo Ren. The when they introduced him, I think he was pretty badass. The opening scene I liked with Kylo, and when they're trying to get the map there, I thought that there'd be more Luke in this, and I thought that we were going to see the trio in this, and of course, we never got that.
I agree with that. Where they messed up big is not bringing the big three together.
Yeah.
So, and I guess that
One
was
more scene.
right, and that was kind of my fault, thinking that they're obviously going to show the original, Luke, Leia, and Han together. I mean, they're in it. We know they're in it, and that didn't happen, as we know. And the first the first order troopers, I thought they looked cool. I like stormtroopers. And I thought they looked cool. I like the opening scene of Force Awakens when they're like in the ship and the camera's kind of shaking because the ship is shaking like that because they're about to land. Those shots right there are really cool. I like that. And there was a lot of mystery in this movie, like I think Connor said. It's like setting things up, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I'm really excited to see what they're going to show or tell us in the next 2 episodes and things like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. But I'll stick to, like I said, a B. So those are my thoughts for my score there.
And you guys pretty much said everything that I would say, so I'm just gonna stick with mine and stick with a B here. What about The Last Jedi?
D.
I would say C. Oh, I'm sorry, Last Jedi. We're talking about Last Jedi. I don't know why. D. Yeah, D for me for sure.
Okay.
C.
Geo? C. So
C.
2 Ds and a C. I'm gonna go with a C as well. So we're stuck with 2 C's and a D. Chad, if you want to chime in a little bit, just say C or D for The Last Jedi.
D.
I think that's going to be a D for you for the live chat.
Yeah. Let us know, and that's where we will put it. But yeah, it was just Chris, why don't you start with this one?
I felt like I was doing this. We're back in Star Wars, and then they just flew off like Final Destination.
Wow.
Like a screw went loose or something, bro. They did complete opposite of what, like, Luke's character. I don't even know who that was in there. It was kind of cool to see him fighting at this point Kylo Ren, and then to turn out it wasn't even real. That kind of threw me for a loop. They killed him off in a weird way. I mean, there's just so much to pick apart with that one. That, I mean, I went to go see this one with my dad, and he ended up walking out. He didn't even watch the movie. Dude, it's, I don't know. It almost ruined Star Wars for me. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
It threw me off so bad. Like, at first I was like, I could kind of understand why, and then the longer it sat, I was like, they didn't have to. Like, it was unnecessary, and it completely changed the story. And then, I mean, now we know all these years later that it was completely just kind of go along kind of thing, and it was never planned, that they never had these fully written out, and they were just doing whatever. Is kind of upsetting, and it shows with this one. So
yeah. Connor,
dude, there's just for me, there's so much to not like about The Last Jedi, and I know it's like, popular to say that Last Jedi sucks, but the biggest issue I have with The Last Jedi is the portrayal of Luke Skywalker was not only against what us as fans would have imagined for the character, but also, obviously, you could watch all the interviews with Mark Hamill around the time, and he was very much against how they're portraying Luke Skywalker in these films. And when the guy who birthed the character alongside George Lucas says that, then there's an issue. Not only that, them switching over to Rian Johnson was a big mistake. Rian Johnson directing, and I felt like, J.J. Abrams, he's not, my favorite director, but I felt like if he would have stuck in as the director and, it worked out that way, it would have been a little bit different. All of the characters really got disrespected from, we were talking about The Force Awakens, that setup for all these characters. They disrespected Finn, they disrespect, like, all of them. And then, you know, the horrible things people were saying about, you know, the actress that played Rose Tico, just and then Ryan Johnson's on Twitter fighting with fans, talking smack to him. It was just a bad
He
time
makes
to be a Star Wars
controversial
fan.
movies.
Right, like
Yeah.
Chris said, it was a bad
Purposely.
time to be a Star Wars fan. We were all kind of down in the dumps. We're like, well, this is it, you know, because that's what we were left with was that film. So the one thing about Last Jedi that I liked, the one
And
thing was
yeah.
the throne room scene, just because I
Yep.
loved the visuals of that scene. I think that was shot very well, and it was a cool fight scene. And I like how, you know, Kylo kind of pulled the lightsaber and stabbed Snoke. Like that was
I
cool.
agree.
But apart from that, it's easily the worst Star Wars film ever made for me, and I don't think anything's going to top it unless they really just go downhill from here. Who knows? But yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough movie. Gio?
I didn't dislike it as most people. Yeah, it's not a great movie. I hated the Canto Bite scene, every moment of it. I didn't like Benicio del Toro's character in it.
No.
Captain Phasma gets taken out. Like they kind of like hyped her up for some reason
They sure did. They
before
hyped her
Force
up big.
Awakens, and then she just fucking dies and
Yeah.
gets burned up and
In a stupid way, yeah.
right. And I was very excited for Luke Skywalker to come back because you know he was going to be a lot. He was going to be in this movie a lot, so I was very excited for that. And I like seeing him. I mean, he was a grumpy old man as Luke Skywalker, and a lot of contradicting things that was happening in that movie with the whole lightsaber and throwing it and stuff like that. And but I mean, I still didn't hate it. I did like the throne room, like you said there, Connor. That's a great scene there. It was unexpected that Snoke gets taken out because I thought he was going to make it to the third one. I thought it was going to be like the
too.
main boss because they're like, "Oh, you guys are following the same beats from A New Hope, so you're going to keep doing the same shit here." and no, so that was different. So I did like that. Some other things, the training. I kind of like the training, you know, with Luke and Rey and stuff like that. And there was something else. I do like the third act. You know that we discovered that it was actually Luke was actually not there. I kind of did like that. It was something a little different. I was in denial for 2 years after The Last Jedi that Luke was dead. I was like, no, he's not dead. That's just, you know, no. You know, so I was like, so I was kind of like expecting him to pop up in The Rise of Skywalker and somehow be alive and be a complete badass. And again, that was my fault. But yeah, I didn't hate it, but definitely not a great one. And I won't spoil what my thoughts are in the next one, but I'll just stick to that. Didn't hate it, so we'll stick to that.
Sure. Waiting for Thrawn to give us a C or D here if he does, because we are literally tied with the chat and the panel on whether The Last Jedi is a ranked C or a ranked D. So I'm going to keep it at D for now, unless Thrawn says it's a C, then we'll move it up.
I will
But
say another thing that I did like was Yoda appearing.
Yeah. I liked some of the training, but it was just kind of like everything that you guys said. It was there's just so much
There was
wrong.
so much potential, and they just completely dropped. Like set up like who is this Snoke guy? You know, there were so many rumors about who he could be, and then he was just killed off. Like Phasma, like he said, like
Yep.
the Daisy story, Kylo said, like it all just was like up there and grasped, and they just threw it in the trash.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. It's sad. Hopefully we get another good Star Wars movie soon. But all right, guys. So we have one more to talk about, and that is the Rise of Skywalker. Who wants to go first? C?
Yeah.
I'll do B.
Oh, okay. Gio?
D.
D. My goodness. So we got a B, a C, and a D. I'm gonna go with.
You know what? I'm changing C.
Okay, I was gonna go with a C for this one.
Cs.
So sounds like a C. Sounds like a C movie here. And Yeah, I mean, I thought the beginning of this movie was really, really good, very well done. I thought it started off like shit was about to go down. This is going to be a really, really good movie, and then it started getting a little weird. You know, like
A
what,
lot
how,
of
what's going on? You know, so. But go ahead, Gio. I'll let you go first this time.
Okay. Yeah, I do like the opening of this. Like I said, I was in denial the whole time. Luke's gonna pop up. He's alive. Oh, he's gonna be a badass. And that didn't happen. And that's not the reason why I'm saying D, by the way. There was a lot of contradictions in this movie. A lot of things didn't make any sense. We have well, first of all, there's the whole Palpatine thing, right? So, I mean, of course, I wanted to see Palpatine again. I mean, obviously, he's one of the greatest villains of all time. So, of course, I wanted to see him. It's just, you can obviously tell that there was no plan for him to be in this movie. So, it was very obvious. And again, I always think about these things, and when they don't happen, it kind of like disappoint me. And that's not a good thing, but I understand that. I believed that Lucasfilm had a plan for this trilogy. I believe that they had episode 7, 8, or 9 ready to go. They have the basic story outline ready to go, and then they're just going to plug in the stuff, kind of like how Kevin Feige does his MCU films. They're all connected somehow. There's a plan. Lucasfilm had this plan with his prequels, right? So, not all of them were great, but he had a plan. They didn't have any plan for this. We have J.J. Abrams, who directed the first one, Force Awakens, and then Ryan Johnson goes in there and he just throws shit away. That's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then J.J. Abrams comes back. No, we are doing that. So it's kind of like a lot of that stuff was happening in this. When Luke Skywalker does come back as a Force ghost, and then he gets the lightsaber, he catches the lightsaber, and then he says something about what was the line that he says? You don't like disrespect this or whatever, or something like that. But in The Last Jedi, he just throws it, right? He just kind of like dismisses it. So that was an obvious thing. Like J.J. Abrams changed it, right? It was like, and then the fans would have liked that. So there was a lot of stuff like that. Billy D. Williams coming back as Lando was complete fan service. I don't really saw the reason for him to come back. Not really. And so, I mean, of course, I'd liked him to come back. He's one of the original characters, but he comes back, and it didn't really make any sense for him to coming back. They kind of teased something with Finn that he might be a Force sensitive or something, but they didn't explore that. In Force Awakens, they kind of talked about, or they teased the Knights of Ren. They didn't do shit with them in this movie. And then at the end, it was just like, and then they redeem Kylo. I didn't want him to get redeemed. I understand that that's kind of like the message in Star Wars. Darth Vader got redeemed. And I didn't want Kylo to be redeemed. He killed Han Solo. So it's like, I didn't really like that. So there's just a bunch of things that I thought were contradictory, and that's why I kind of like one of the worst ones in my opinion. But like always, like I say this, there's always a lot of things in Star Wars that were good, right? So I did like some cool scenes, fight scenes in Rise of Skywalker, like you said, the opening. I like seeing Palpatine again, even though it made no sense, but I like seeing him. So yeah. So those are my thoughts there. So I'll let you guys speak now for Rise of Skywalker.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, so for me, I give Rise of Skywalker a bit more slack because, J.J. Abrams returned and he kind of had to like clean up the mess as much as he could, which was essentially fighting a losing battle at that point because they already made, The Last Jedi. I didn't leave the theater like angry or anything when I saw it. There were some enjoyable moments. I actually, me personally, I know Gio didn't like it. I actually really liked the Ben Solo arc quite a bit. I really enjoyed that. I liked how him and Rey kind of teamed up at the end. That kind of made sense to me with what they were doing with the characters personally. I kind of agree Palpatine, the way they handled him was a little odd. It was still really cool seeing him, and I love the like red and black robes they had him in. Those are really cool looking. I also really like the scene between Kylo and Han. You know, when they're have all
Sure.
the waves splashing on them, and he says "Dad," and he's like, "I know," and he throws a saber and everything like that. That was a good scene to me. It was a nice little kind of like way of kind of showing that arc with the character, going back to Force Awakens, where unfortunately he killed Han Solo, and that was kind of like him coming to peace with that in a way. But yeah, just the unfortunate task that J.J. Abrams had, and really, the whole crew and cast and everything was to kind of undo some of the wrongs from The Last Jedi without completely rewriting the story that they already had laid out in front of them, and it just didn't work. It was a complete mess in a lot of ways. Like, Finn was completely disrespected, especially in the last film. They did absolutely nothing with him. And John Boyega is such a great actor, and they should have utilized him a lot more. Just a lot of and a lot of the secondary characters just got completely disrespected. I also agree, like Lando, it was great seeing Billy D. Williams come back. They didn't do much with him, and it didn't feel like a true like service to him as a character. There was just a lot of things that, like, after I saw The Last Jedi, I already knew, like, this is what we get, and also I felt like Rey, they kind of made her a little too OP in the end of the film. I was like, that's a little much. And then I wasn't really a huge fan of the whole Palpatine arc either. I thought that was a little weird. But either way, again, there's things in it I liked enough to where I would put it over The Last Jedi, but not a great film by any means.
Yeah. Chris.
Yeah, so for Rise of Skywalker with me, I went in with some better expectations because I was like, all right, it's JJ. They threw Palpatine in there, which, that's just like to get numbers, like to bring people back in. Like we're bringing back somebody from the OT who we love, like a very beloved character. And then I went in low expectations and I came out a little bit like Connor. Like I wasn't mad, but I wasn't like over the moon because he did do the best he could. Like Connor said, cleaning up some of the stuff. I did find, I forget if it was the end of The Last Jedi or the end of this one where there's a kid sweeping and then he like forces a broom into his hand. And I'm like, what does
Last
that
Jedi.
have to do?
That was The Last Jedi.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything that never led anywhere? Like Connor said, John Boyega being disrespected as Finn's character, like he seemed to be force sensitive, and then it never went anywhere. He just ended up turning into a meme of screaming Rey. I do like Kylo Ren, Ben Solo's arc. I think him turning to the light side was cool. What I didn't care for was him like having a relationship with Rey. Like the kiss at the end was a
Like
little
the
bit
creepy
forced
smile
or
where he's
awkward. Yeah, it's like,
That's
hey,
so
I just
creepy.
tried to kill you, but made
Yeah, and then he
this
just
up,
fades
for
away,
the past years we've been doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
Other than that, like them correcting what Luke's, should have done, I get it, but it still left me salty that it happened in the first place. So it was like putting a Band-Aid over like a big gash, if that makes sense. And then the only other gripe that I did like the ending, her being like, I am all the Jedi, because him all the Sith, whatever the heck that stuff means. I liked hearing all the different Jedi's voices and stuff. What I think was missed, just like them tying back the big three, they could have thrown in a lot more from the other movies. Like there's been some edits online where you're throwing more Force Ghosts into the mix. We could see more people instead of just hearing voices. That's really what I was looking for, is like that ultimate redemption, tie everything to this Skywalker saga at the end of it, that you need like Anakin's help. So him appearing in Force Ghosts would have just blown the roof off of everything, at least for me. Yeah, and then I don't know. I felt a little bit weird of her being a Skywalker at the end there and burying the lightsabers. So
Yeah, the torch.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think the reason I changed because at first I was saying, but then I'm like, wait, if Force Awakens there was definitely below that because in my order, Force Awakens was my favorite out of the three, and then Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, not too much good, but not a lot of hate either. It was like I could
Sure.
live with that kind of film. It's like, okay, I get it.
yeah, and I actually have fun with all of these movies, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I am surprised that we only have one on A tier, the Phantom Menace. But I'm glad that it's there. I'm glad we have the Phantom Menace in A tier. So
I tried,
super
but
surprised about
that's
that one.
fun,
So yeah, but this was fun. This was you know, something I've been wanting to do, and I knew I had a lot of Star Wars fans with me tonight, so wanted to get this out of the way, have some fun with it, and no one else better than you guys. So thank you.
Absolutely.
We do have one very short segment to do here. Real quick, the world of psychic. So let's go ahead, show off our little intro here, and get started with that. All right. So this is pretty much the end of the show, everybody. First of all, thank you for the 16 people who have decided to stick around with us this late evening. I know it's 12:30 in the morning for Collecting Madness and Hot Toys Hotline. Guys, I'm sorry. I owe you one. So thanks for hanging out. But yeah, for you guys in the chat that are hanging out too, pretty late, I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Guys, this is the world of psychic, and Gio, I know you've been on the show before, but we didn't have the world of psychic at that time, so I want you to be involved in this as well. I'm gonna have you go first, give us a prediction, become a psychic for a minute, and tell us what is either going to be announced, what's going to be released next. You know, and if it's an announced figure, try to stay within this year. You know, it could also be the next Artisan, anything along the lines within this year.
So still in 2024. Okay, so because I'm very hopeful for this, I'll say Queen Amidala.
Queen Amidala
Announcement.
I hope we get more Phantom Menace announcements like this week. Hopefully Queen Amidala is one of them. Hopefully you are a psychic. Artisan. Ooh.
Again, hopeful. So
yeah, right. Collecting Madness. What is a bold prediction? A little psychic thing here.
I want to see a Padawan Obi. And if Padawan not a more realistic thing, maybe a B1 battle droid like a commander or something. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Hot Toys Hotline. Mr. Connor.
Do I stick with Phantom Menace? No, I'm actually going to do a fun one. I think we're going to get a xenomorph from Alien Romulus.
Ooh.
I think we're going to. I think the xenomorph's coming back, and
that would be hot.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hot. That'd be nice.
Yeah, so that'd be cool.
I think that's because we did get the Feral Predator. It took a little bit. We got the Feral Predator, so Hot Toys is willing to bust into those classic licenses again. So yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, no, very, very good predictions, gentlemen. Thank you for being involved in this and being a part of this episode, issue number 9 in the books. Guys, before we go, Thrawn's office is asking for a favor. Could have had Wendy's voice saying, "I'm tired of these mother effing Sith on this mother effing plane. I thought he was asking if one of us could do that voice. So, um, obviously not. I just look like a dumbass. So.
That's why I was
Hey,
smiling earlier because I read that.
Was anybody else tripping when you first? Because I know I was. It blew my mind when Rey Force Lightnings the ship, and you think that Chewie's been blown up.
Oh yeah, of course,
Mhm.
Yeah.
of
Like
course.
that, I was like,
They did that on purpose. They did that on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. But before we go, Gio, what's going on with your channel?
Well, I mean, I did a Star Wars talk episode on May the 4th, so that's been on my channel for a couple of days now. I'm working on a like a vlog style video for the CaliCon 2024 for that one day that I was there. So I'm working on that video. I might do a Met Report show on Saturday. You know, my movie show. I still haven't fully decided yet, but I probably will do a Met Report show. And then obviously I do my Figures Talk show Sunday nights. But because it's Mother's Day this Sunday, I probably won't. But I am planning on doing the May 19th Figures Talk show where I'm going to have ideally a couple of my guests try to climb the ladder to get to Danny Spachka for the Figures Talk Championship, the little game that I do over there, because Danny's been the champion since January. So I'm trying to get a couple of those guys to go in there, you know,
Lucky.
play the game, and then eventually we'll get to win the championship. Hopefully, maybe sometime like in early June for that championship. So that's what I'm going on so far.
Okay.
And
Nice.
thank you for inviting me on here again.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure doing streams with you. So thank you for coming on.
And it was nice to see you guys, Connor and Chris.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure, man. It's great to meet you finally, officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it official, guys. Collecting Madness, sir. What's going on? What's going on with your channel?
Yesterday uploaded. If you're a fan of WWE, I got an upgrade to my spinner belt. I put a John Cena nameplate on there. So if you want to see that, cool. If you're not into WWE as far as Star Wars goes or anything Hot Toys, I did put up a video listing out what I would want to see, like a top 5 figure of the Phantom Menace, what I would like to see coming from that line. So that's up there as well. And then whatever else you can find, a dibble dabble into a lot of stuff. And then, as always, on Tuesdays now I'm with Connor. So
yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks for being on the show once again, my friend Connor. What's going on, man?
Well, so like Chris said, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. Actually, we had a Sunday show just, to celebrate May the 4th and Revenge of the 5th. So if you guys want to watch that replay, we did go live yesterday, and we shared our thoughts and all this stuff, and then some. Just celebrating Star Wars because those are the 2 most fun days of the year for Star Wars fans, other than Star Wars Celebration, whenever that is. But I have quite a few videos planned right now. I'm kind of in the middle of moving a bunch of stuff to the basement because I just put up some new shelves. So that's why there's a table behind me with the most random stuff ever on it. But yeah, I got some videos planned. And I will share some info about those soon because, when you're in the middle of moving stuff, you're like, I just want to get that done. So once I get that done, I'll be putting out some stuff. But yeah, if I don't have a video up, then you know where to find me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST.
Great show yesterday, by the way. I was watching and then sometimes just listening because I went to go pick up ice cream and then dinner and all that stuff. And then so I was kind of listening into, but I love the in-depth conversations you guys had with all these figures. So thank you for that. Appreciate all you do over on that channel. And all 3 of you guys are amazing. I watch all of your guys' stuff, your streams, your videos, unboxings, what have you. So definitely amazing to have you guys on here. Thank you once again. Guys, this is issue number 9 in the books. So I just want to say keep bricking. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.
See ya.